Good morning, everyone. Well, it's a wee bit later than normal, 9:45 a.m. AURATUS Gold. I hope I'm pronouncing that's right, and it's probably the only time I'm going to say that name through this whole live. I've got people biting at the bit for me to go live on this one. I got a tip off this morning, and I've gone down a rabbit hole. I'm actually blown away by what I have found, and I want to share what I've found with you guys. AURATUS Gold is basically a break off of GE's partners. And GE's partners normally go after everyone legally to shut them down. And they've done so with me in the past. And one of my blogs, they said that some Norwegian judge deemed that one of my videos needed to be blocked. And my ISP blocked one of my blogs from a country, the Netherlands, I think. Anyway, long story short, I'm watching an Australian guy who seems to be a digital nomad using his influence to promote this new opportunity. And I was given a link to an unlisted video where he claims this is an opportunity of a lifetime. And he's telling people to totally ignore all the warnings. He also even has a go at behind MLM. I have a video of him doing a presentation, and I'm just putting this video out here to actually warn anyone. But more importantly, this guy claims he used to be a policeman in New South Wales and even worked as a fireman. Gave it all up to travel the world as a digital nomad. It's a story that you could dream about. Now, I want to share with you this guy's story, and I want to highlight all the lies. Now, I'm trying not to stop it too much along the way, but the first thing I want to do is show you how I've gone down a rabbit hole. And welcome to everyone in the chat room. And the only thing I haven't done is actually given this guy the link of the live so that he can actually come along and join in, and maybe there may be an opportunity where I can actually post a link, and there is. So I'm going to post the link to this to his wife's Facebook account, and she can actually come and have a wee look. So now I know that I can do that. I'm actually going to post a couple of times, and I'll just see what profile I'm in. I'm in there as the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, and hopefully we might get Mike in here. But in the meantime, let me show you this opportunity. This one is going to be a cracker. I've done a whole hour and a half of research into Michael Hope, and I'm going to focus on Michael rather than his beautiful wife, Brooke, and his family. But you will see family photos coming up, which are public on the internet, and we will be playing a video. But I actually think it would be best if you first of all introduce yourself to a bottom feeder of the world called Michael Hope. So this is Michael Hope, and here he is in front of a whole lot of gold bars. And because he's in front of a whole lot of gold bars, he is qualified to talk to you about an opportunity where you can invest in digital gold. Oh yes, digital gold. Isn't it a goodie? Now, this is recorded live, and I will try and get my information correct. But there is a small disclaimer. I don't know whether this guy is really a disgusting bottom feeder of the world or not. So I'll let you draw your own conclusion. And in the blog that's on my website, which will be shared in the chat room about now, you can go in there and you can find the links to his Facebook page and his wife's Facebook page and his digital nomad Facebook page. And you can go in there and have a wee chit chat to him. We will be looking for information. I believe because I went to the Global Financial Crime Summit 2024 a couple of weeks ago, I probably can actually go to I actually literally have the contact details of the New South Wales police, and also I can ask Kent Gamble for any information on this guy, and I believe I can actually stop him. So that's the exciting part. But soon, as you see, there'll be a video here, which is actually me live now, and it's a good opportunity for me to listen to my own sound. Make sure we are playing all right. I can't hear any sound, so that's exactly what I want. Gamble for any information. Yep, I sound pretty good. I'll just turn my mic up a little bit. Thanks for that, Danny. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to stop that video, and I'm going to read my blog because it actually summarizes what we're about to watch. And you can be skeptical and say there's a slim chance that this opportunity of a lifetime is real and genuine, and I just have my facts wrong. Or you could use Put your big boy trousers on and use your brain and listen to how shady of an opportunity this guy Michael is offering people.
I'm Danny de Hek, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, and tonight, we're diving deep into the dark world of AURATUS Gold, a scheme being dangerously promoted by Australian influencer Michael Pope. Known for his family's globe-trotting adventures under the brand Roamin, Michael is now using his platform to dismiss warnings from governments and experts about this highly suspicious operation. But the truth? The red flags are everywhere, and mum and dad investors are the ones paying the price.
Now, I'm tempted to fix up a couple of mistakes in that there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to carry on so we don't waste your time.
Who is Michael Pope? Michael Pope, along with his wife Brooke and their children, portrays the perfect picture of a carefree, nomadic lifestyle. Through their Roamin brand, they encourage others to chase freedom and financial independence. But behind the feel-good social media posts, Michael is actively promoting AURATUS Gold, a scheme operating under a complex web of entities spread across Switzerland, Dubai, Bulgaria, and beyond. He claims the criticisms and regulatory warnings are fake news designed to mislead the public, but could it be that Michael himself is misleading his audience?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that Michael's misleading his audience, and he's really out for that multi-level marketing dollars. He's already claimed he's made all his money not from being a fireman or a policeman, but by promoting these opportunities of a lifetime. So I'm only assuming that this guy's heavily involved in promoting GS Partners at one point, which was a scam that Kalpesh Patel started promoting after Hyperverse.
What is AURATUS Gold? On the surface, AURATUS Gold promises wealth protection through gold-backed investments, exclusive tax cards, and even positive storage fees for vaulting gold. But dig deeper, and it reeks of classic Ponzi-like tactics. Ambiguous revenue models, no clear explanation of how positive storage fees are sustained. Multi-jurisdictional complexity, companies registered in tax havens to avoid accountability. No proof of gold ownership, claims of physical gold backing remain unverifiable. Exclusion of USA and Canada, countries with stricter consumer protection laws are notably avoided. MLM-style recruitment, heavy reliance on affiliate marketing and IBO agreements to attract new participants. This combination of vague promises and MLM features is a recipe for disaster, leaving investors vulnerable to financial losses.
That's awesome. Now, I can't even see where I got up to because that seemed like it actually went off and read a marathon. Financial losses. Losses. Financial losses. Where did that get up to? I've got my computer reading. Oh, financial losses. Wow, that was a big paragraph for that. So it was there. Yeah, so sound good so far? Are you intrigued? So why is this dangerous is the next thing. Let's have a read of that.
Why is this dangerous? Michael Pope's dismissal of warnings as misleading undermines legitimate concerns about AURATUS Gold's operations. His role as a promoter gives credibility to a scheme riddled with red flags, putting his audience at risk of financial ruin. When influencers like Michael use their platforms irresponsibly, they amplify the dangers of unregulated schemes that prey on trust and ignorance.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I'm just going to flip these up. We might have a look at that. This is the first government warning. This is a warning just about digital gold vaults in general. It doesn't actually mention the one that we're looking at. But this one here is Money Smart, which is Australians, where he's from, a warning about the company behind it all. And I have actually asked for warnings about
Helvetic Digital Finance AG, AURATUS Gold.
AURATUS Gold. So there's a warning, and here's a New Zealand warning. This one here is the Texas State Security Board, who we're friends with. And here's a 17-page warning about this gold company that he's telling people just to ignore and brushing over. He's even in the video I'm about to show you, he claims that they wrote a retraction. I mean, really? Are you really that dumb, mate, that you want to jeopardize Brooke and your children's future because you want to promote an illegal Ponzi scheme and then claim it's not? And then try to sell it in don't get me started. It absolutely annoys me. In fact, I was infuriated when I saw what you were doing and that you were promoting. Multi-level marketing and investment gold. Here we go. So here's a whole chat room in a community about the gold and the people that are promoting it and just everything to do. There was also a Reddit group which you can go crazy on. So you can see I can easily have gone down a rabbit hole. And then Texas say digital gold, whatever, multi-level marketing scheme. And there's articles after articles saying this is just a bogus Ponzi scheme. And then you have a go at my mate Oz. Now, Oz, holding people to extortion. Has anybody ever seen any article? He says there's 9,000 articles on Behind MLM. Has anyone ever seen any articles that are on Behind MLM actually come offline? I have never seen anything. So what he's saying is Oz is writing these articles. He only writes negative articles. Is there any positive articles that you can write about multi-level marketing? No. So there's 9,000 articles, he claims, in Oz's articles, and we feed him. Look at this. When you go to this website, suspected, what do they call it? Publishing. This is what happens when you go to the gold.
Suspected phishing.
Phishing, is that how you spell it? So this is what a warning that comes up on the website when you go to it. And this is the gold company that this Michael Pope guy has done. Now, I haven't done any real research on Michael Pope, and to be honest, I don't even know if I've got any historical information on popes. I'm just going to do a search because I never thought of doing that before. I've started building a profile on him, and we'll actively go after him. So if you know anything about Mr. Pope here, by all means, do let me know. And I will actually just do a search. Now, he goes by Mike Pope. Let's have a wee look. Mike Pope, and I'll just see if Mike Pope has ever been. No, so now we're looking for Mike Pope, and I've got nothing. So I've got nothing on this Australian digital nomad guy other than what I've researched. But I want to know where he lives. I want to know his phone numbers. I want to know everything that you can provide me about him. So help me build a case on him. We've already started one on, I can't even say that name. I'm going to struggle with it all day.
AURATUS Gold.
AURATUS Gold. But let's go back to here. So why is it dangerous? So what's the red flags? Just some basic red flags that you might want to look at before you think about investing in a digital gold that you can't prove exists.
The red flags you need to know: no transparent revenue model. Legitimate businesses clearly explain how they generate income. AURATUS Gold doesn't. Promises too good to be true. Positive storage fees for gold storage. Sounds more like a fantasy. Multi-jurisdictional setup, operating across countries with differing regulations complicates accountability. No regulatory oversight, excluding countries like the USA and Canada, raises serious questions. Ambiguous ownership of gold. Where is the gold? Who owns it? No one knows. MLM recruitment tactics. If the model depends on recruiting new participants, that's a pyramid scheme in disguise.
Yeah, now there's the biggest red flag for me. If this scheme didn't have a recruitment drive, would it flourish? Would it grow? No, it wouldn't. Why do they need these people to recruit people into it for it to flourish? Doesn't it reek Ponzi scheme and scam? I mean, really? Now, Michael, I don't know you from a bar of soap, and I'm sure you're going to be watching this, and you're going to be going, oh, this guy don't know what he's talking about. I'm going to find out about Danny. I want to find out that he doesn't brush his teeth before he goes on live. Would you believe I got a comment from some keyboard warrior telling me that I need to brush my teeth in one of my shorts, YouTube shorts, not in my shorts. But so I've actually put up a whole article about how to look after your teeth properly. But the people get on here, and the first thing they'll do is, oh, he's just a YouTuber going after his YouTube dollars and his YouTube clicks. Well, I'll be totally transparent. So let's just go to my YouTube channel and let's see how much money Danny has made from his YouTube channel. So this is the back end of my YouTube channel. No, it's not the back end of my YouTube channel. I go into and I do monetize my videos because I do like to make a living. But I spend 70 to 80 hours of my week fighting scammers like you, Michael. So if you go into here, you can see that I get, at the moment, I think I'm around about $300 a month on the money I get from my YouTubes. And that includes the super chats that I get from people as well. But if you decided that you want to go back and you want to go the lifetime of my whole YouTube channel, which is 11 years old, but in the last 3 years, I've been really focusing on, I have made $11,390. Now, 5% of that's kept back for tax. It used to be 30%, but the other day I decided to pull out the proper paperwork, so I actually now don't have to give the American holdback 30%. Long story. So what I'm getting at, I'd be lucky if I've got maybe $3,500 from my YouTube channel over the last 3 years consistently. If you follow that. So if you're going to go out on the limb there, Michael, and say that I'm just doing this for YouTube clicks. I don't. The reason I do it, I was interviewed by one of the largest, if not the largest, media company yesterday. They sent around a film crew, and we had mics, cameras, lights, action, and they recorded me for an hour and a half asking questions about my fight and why I go after these scammers. Now, I was brought up in a religious cult, and I was kicked out. I was shunned by that cult because I stood up to what they were saying, and they didn't like it, so they booted me out, basically. Now, if you stand up to anyone that's promoting these Ponzi schemes or scams like you are, you will kick me out of the community, you will delete me, you will remove my comments, you will boot me out of your Zoom meetings, and why are you promoting this in an unlisted YouTube link? You know, all these things. You are a scumbag. I am out here trying to stop people. The money that you gather from these Ponzi schemes, when I went to this crime seminar a couple of weeks ago, they show a lot of the money finishes up supporting the human trafficking, money laundering, and they're building these compounds where they hold people under duress. And a lady that I'm taking my hat off to at the moment is Erin West. If you don't know her, find her on LinkedIn and watch her actually expose these human trafficking compounds. And this is where a lot of this money goes. My fight isn't to go after you, Michael. In fact, Michael, what I would like you to do is wake up, smell the coffee, and help us become Avenger and expose these scams. If you're a part of GS Partners, which I'm 100% sure you will be, even if I'm 1% wrong, maybe, but I'm sure that you would have been part of GS Partners. You probably would have been part of Hyperverse. I've asked some Australian people who are in the multi-level marketing arena to get some background information about you. Now, look up who Ken Gamble is. I will be, after this video, I will be showing him this video I've done about you, and I'll be asking him for information about you. And I want to find the dirt on you. I want to stop you from being a YouTuber. I want to take down your YouTube channel and your digital nomad days. Well, you shouldn't have stopped those. You should have kept traveling and just head off to Dubai and stay with those other bottom feeders. Anyway, let's not get me started. The fight against scams, let's just have a read of what this is.
Join the fight against scams in this live expose. I'll break down how Michael Pope and AURATUS Gold are putting investors at risk, explain the mechanics of this dubious scheme, and offer actionable advice to protect yourself. Your participation matters. Share your story. If you've been impacted by AURATUS Gold or similar schemes, let us know in the live chat or comments. Spread awareness. Share this video to warn others about the dangers of MLM scams and Ponzi-like operations.
Jelly snack. I'm not going to give you any virtual gold. In here, this is my blog, and you can actually see I've asked it to multiple government warnings. And I am just going to read this last bit, and then I'm going to show you the video of Michael telling you that this is a good investment scheme. And while I'm doing this, I'm actually going to fix up a couple of things, so you'll just be able to listen to this.
Multiple government warnings. Helvetic Digital Finance AG, operating under the name AURATUS Gold, AURATUS Gold, has been the subject of multiple government warnings across various jurisdictions due to concerns about its investment schemes. Australia. On August 22, 2024, the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, ASIC, issued a warning stating that AURATUS Gold is likely offering financial services to Australian consumers without holding the necessary Australian financial services or credit licenses. ASIC identified Helvetic Digital Finance AG as a shell company associated with AURATUS Gold. Subsequently, on September 11, 2024, ASIC alerted consumers about unlicensed entities promoting suspicious investment opportunities in digital gold vaults, which closely align with AURATUS Gold's business model. These entities lure consumers by promising passive income and other benefits, such as payments for recruiting or referring new investors. New Zealand. On September 27, 2024, New Zealand's Financial Markets Authority, FMA, advised caution when dealing with AURATUS Gold or any individuals promoting its products or services. The FMA noted that AURATUS Gold is not a registered entity in New Zealand and is not authorised to offer financial services or products to New Zealand investors. The authority also reported private seminars and webinars being hosted by AURATUS promoters in the country. United States. In June 2024, the Texas State Securities Board, TSSB, issued a fraud warning against AURATUS Gold, identifying it as part of a broader effort by GSB Gold Standard Corporation to defraud consumers. The TSSB's action highlighted the deceptive nature of AURATUS Gold's investment schemes. These warnings collectively indicate that Helvetic Digital Finance AG, through AURATUS Gold, has been operating without proper authorization and engaging in activities that have raised significant regulatory concerns in multiple countries.
Well, there you go. There you have it. I think I've done all the warnings. I think I've done my pretty good job telling you that you wouldn't really want to be part of anything to do with this company. I thought I'd bring up this website, even though it's telling me that they're potential phishing for information. This is what the website looked like. Protect your spending and savings with precious golds and metals. This reminds you of G909, GS Partners, as I said earlier on. Explore the shop. So no doubt if you, once again, more credit cards. Oh my God, it just goes on and on. Give me a bucket. Explore the shop. Just have a look to see what sort of items. Bet they're all luxury items that you can buy that you really need to bring up a family, eh, Michael? What did we buy? Oh, here we go. So we can buy gold bars if you like, but not real gold. No. This is digital gold, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we've got Jelly Snack in the chat room. She says she wants some virtual gold. Who wouldn't want virtual gold? Something that's on your phone rather than something you can feel in a vault that you can't see and can't touch. Even Michael in this video will show you that he couldn't touch the gold because of security reasons. Just goes on and on. Look, I think I've done a pretty good job. First of all, the other thing we do want to have a look at is we are looking at the lifestyle of these Roamin free people. He's got 12,000k followers, and you can see they've had a pretty good lifestyle on the back of probably GS Partners, just having a guess. And if you want to, you can actually have a look, and you can see that's Brooke Hope's page. And in here, you can see I've actually posted, a couple of links. So they're living the lifestyle, they're living the dream, but they're really just a couple of scammers. And if you go to Michael Hope's Facebook page, you can see that he doesn't allow people to see his Facebook page unless you're friends of Michael. So he probably hasn't got many friends because he's probably introduced them all into scams and the like. But isn't it a telltale sign when you go to somebody who's promoting these Ponzi schemes via a video that often you can't see their Facebook page? And they call these people the haters and the trolls, but they're really heroes, aren't they? So then, so that's a wee bit. And then I did notice a couple of other things. I did find him on TikTok, and I haven't played any of these videos. And I'm not really going to play them, but you get the idea. It's a beautiful lifestyle, digital nomads traveling around the world, living the passive lifestyle dream, and all this lovely things. Well, I looked at his TikTok account. He's following 47 people. He's got 1,075 followers, and he's got a whopping 14,200 likes. Congratulations. Well, let's have a look at my TikTok. I'm only following 21 people. I have 6,500 followers, and I have 396.3 thousand K likes. And I've got a few videos in there which have reached a million subscribers. One that was 2.3 million subscribers, and not subscribers, views. So I've got a pretty big footprint out there myself to do some damage. And what I'm going to do with that, this channel that I have there, Michael, is fully expose you as the bottom feeder as you are. And there's no other way to actually do that but to bring up the video of you condemning and proving that you are actually promoting a Ponzi scheme and a scam. So let's introduce you to Michael and let you listen to the lies he's about to tell you, and I'll try not to stop along the way.
Bear with us, guys.
Recording in progress.
This
All
is
right,
Michael.
hello everyone, and for those that don't know me, my name is Mike Pope. I have 3 beautiful children and am married to my lovely wife Brooke, which I think you can see our name up here on the screen.
Well, I'm pretty sure they will visit you in jail, Michael. So that would be a beautiful story to tell you other jail mates, isn't it? I don't even think, have I got a... No, I haven't got a jail noise on my keyboard at the moment.
And she's taking care of them at the moment so they don't run out while I'm doing this. For those that don't know me, I used to be a police officer.
Right. I love that story. That's good. And he probably used to be a police officer, but what he says next is even quite more ironic.
Police officer for 12 years or 12 and a half years in Victoria Police. I had many different positions there. And I kind of resented that job, to be honest, by then.
Wonder why that was. Pretty hard to run a Ponzi scheme and a scam when you're a police officer, isn't it?
Of it, and I was fortunate enough to then join the Metropolitan Fire Brigade in Melbourne City. And I was a full-time firefighter for 8 years there.
What a hero. I'm sure those government jobs pay really well as well, right?
During my firefighter, I worked 4 on, 4 off, and I also worked casually as a finance broker. So I did that role as well for about 5 years there.
I would be interested to know whether you're a regulated financial advisor, if you, because that's what I think you're insinuating people should be thinking, and I'd love to know that. So we're going to look up your company, and we're going to see what you actually are, if you have any licenses, and we might just have a wee review with the financial institutions in Australia just to see how that goes now.
And then at the start of 2020, we took long service leave. And we took our 3 children around the world, and 6 weeks into that, COVID hit. Anyway, long story short, we looked at the online space. We got involved in the online space a bit over 4 years ago, or probably 4.5 years ago. We traveled around the world for 2 years in total. We traveled around Australia for 2 years in total. And thank you to the online space, neither of us ever went back to jobs. We've relocated up here to.
Well, I'm also a digital nomad, Michael. I sold everything I owned once, and I hitchhiked around New Zealand telling everyone I was a mobile internet consultant. I used to charge $300 to set up a website and $30 a month to keep it going. And in 2004, my company turned over $500,000, took home $274,000 just in 1 year as a paycheck. I can certainly empathize what it's like to be a digital nomad. Carry on, tell your wonderful story. I just told you mine.
Beautiful Queensland, where we always wanted to live, and now help people grow their own online businesses as well. So when it comes to working online and online opportunities, when it comes to dealing with banks, and it comes to governments and regulations, and even investigative roles with people committing fraudulent activities, I
Now, always bring up fraudulent activities and scams when you're promoting a genuine opportunity.
feel like I'm pretty well, I suppose, equipped to talk to you about it. Now, saying that, I am not here to give you
Have a disclaimer that means nothing. It's like a surgeon who gives you a disclaimer and said, I'm not a surgeon, but let me operate on you.
financial or tax advice. I'm not licensed to do that. I'm here to share with you this opportunity. And a lot of the things I'm going to do as well, I'm going to run through some examples as well. So when you see it, if you don't quite understand it, I'm going to run through some examples. I'm guessing most people are from Australia, so I'm going to be putting that into Australian dollars and show you what it means, and also kind of covering very quickly for those who want to build this as a business, how they can do that, because this is a great opportunity with gold. Now, we do have the marketing aspect of it.
Virtual gold. Just let's be clear, Michael. You can't mislead people by saying gold. Virtual gold is not the same, because I'm sure if you got hit by a ton of real gold, it would kill you. But if you got hit by a ton of virtual gold, it would probably just you.
Which I'm currently doing right now, and a way to make commissions there. However, you don't need to do it, and that's what we love about this. You don't need to be flogging products. You don't need to be online and doing that kind of thing. You can basically come in here for yourself and take full advantage of that.
So, of course, he's online at the moment trying to encourage you to invest so he gets multi-level marketing dollars, because that's how he survives as a digital nomad. Is that right, Michael?
So as I do chat to you, I know I talk very, very fast, so please bear with me. As I do chat to you, I'm going to keep crossing back to a presentation that I drew up, just so I don't miss anything. You won't see most of that, but I will be sharing my screen with you as well throughout this. So just making sure, if I look like I'm kind of staring at the camera or the screen a little bit weird, I'm simply just going back over these notes. So as I said, I'm not exaggerating when I say this can change your life. It has ours. We haven't worked jobs now for, in January, it will be 5 years, and never been in a better financial position. We're currently building our dream home.
Good to know. I'm sure the receivers will be after that. Now, do you realize if you get involved in these Ponzi schemes and scams and you actually do make money, when the receivers come in, they go after the people like Michael that might have invested $100,000, just for argument's sake, made $500,000 or maybe $1 million or maybe $1.5 million. And then they go build their beautiful dream home. So when these companies and people complain and go to the lawyers, they actually put covenants over these people's positions, and they take back the money or get them to pay back the money they made by ill gain. So you might be able to get away with it for a wee while there, Michael. But when a lawsuit starts up and people claim foul and you've been promoting it, the first thing they will do is go after the commissions that you think you rightly earned from an illegal company. That's why they put out those government warnings.
From the sand of the beach, and something that we always dreamed of. And I think there's a reason that a lot of people will be on this call right now or watching this replay, because what you're doing right now may not be necessarily working for you. And it's a simple case of, the old, what's the old definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So I do have a little bit of information, as I said, to get through. Please write down your questions and leave them to the end. I will do a Q&A at the end where I can read those questions. I simply just can't go through everything I'm going through as I'm doing it on my own and be able to look at those questions as they come along as well. So I will address the questions, but I will do that at the very end. Also, this webinar is designed for new leads. So for people who are interested in this space and are not necessarily in this space, if you've already got a business here and have questions, I would ask you to direct them to whoever introduced you to this business.
So if you're going to buy gold or silver, why do you need to have a downline or an upline? I mean, why don't you just go and buy gold and silver from the secondhand shop and melt it down and make yourself a few bars and put it in your own safe? Why do you need to filter it through a company that has article after article, warning after warning of dubious opportunities like this?
I respect people's time, and this webinar isn't designed to be a training session for existing members. We do have that in the community. We've got another training session as well, I think, tomorrow night. So this here is purely for new leads and is designed for that side of things. So I'm going to cover the company. I'm going to cover the elephant in the room with some of the reviews and negative stuff we've got with some of the trolls online.
I'm a troll. Go on, say it, Michael. That guy's a troll. I've already shown you how much money I make on my YouTube channel. Obviously, that's not the incentive. So carry on ditching everyone and making an excuse. Now, what type of, imagine going to a seminar, a proper one, and the guy on the stage gets up there and starts telling you about all the negative stuff that you hear. Just ignore it. Don't take it into your head because it's not true. Because I used to be a fireman and a policeman, and I know it's not really true because I know better than you do and the governments. All the governments, the 5 or 6 different government warnings that we've just shown you on the screen before we started this video, he's telling you to ignore it. And the claims he makes about Oz from behind MLM actually got me so annoyed that I spent an hour and a half researching this guy, Michael Pope, and Brooke's wife, and also the gold opportunity he's promoting, which I've already forgotten the name of. An hour and a half, I found so much evidence I had to do a video. I postponed my morning show so I could do this video to expose this Australian guy who thinks he's a digital nomad. He's a friggin' idiot. He's a bottom feeder of the planet. Don't get me started.
I'm going to be talking about
Hey, TikToks.
this MasterCard, and this is the number one thing that I love about it. Having something to make your gold and your wealth decentralized and very liquid. If you don't understand what a decentralized space is, I'll cover it very briefly with a diagram. I'd also encourage you, though, to jump onto YouTube and simply put what is decentralized versus centralized, and what is Web 3.0, what is blockchain, because those videos are pretty good at explaining, given we've got people watching.
So basically, if it goes all pear-shaped and you're decentralized, that means you can't use the regulated people like the policemen and the lawyers to go after these guys. Is that what you're saying, Michael?
With a vast range of knowledge and experience in this area, it would take me too long to really harp on every little thing there. At the end of it, feel free, if you don't understand it, to put in the questions and I'll cover it.
Thank you,
if we've got time.
Bates.
So we're going to be talking about, as I said, that decentralized space, receiving rewards, and how they can be exchanged for more gold or sold into fiat. Now, fiat is simply, in our case, Australian currency, or US dollar if you're in the US, or
Ding, ding.
euro if you're in the euro. It's basically your national currency. I'll do, as I said, an example of cost versus reward and comparing that with the banks and what your money is currently doing for you if you have some in the banking system. And I'll also cover how this is sustainable. How is this possible? Is this too good to be true? How do they do it? It's a big question, and I think something everyone should be asking themselves when they...
Yeah, asking. Now, if you go back to my blog that you might be watching this off, go down, scroll through the text, you actually find there's no way of them actually proving they actually have gold other than handing out a few gold bars and not letting people see the real gold that's meant to be secured in these safes. It's all digital.
Looking into any venture at all. So we do have a licensed gold company. I'm going to go over that as well. I've got a screenshot there. Falls under Helvetic Digital Finance. Obviously, we all know the advantages of gold. I'm going to go into that a little bit too in the presentation that the company prepared for us, that they like us to give, so we don't go too far off track. And obviously, with the negatives in the past is you've got to buy it at set times of the day or the week through a bullion dealer. You've got to buy a certain amount of it. There's heavy fees in purchasing it and selling it. And the big thing is you've got to pay to store it, and it's just not liquid. You can't buy a bar of gold and go down to the supermarket and shave off a little bit just to pay for your groceries. What we've got here is revolutionary, and I can assure you the banks and the government won't like it and don't like it. It's keeping the profits out of their
Oh,
pockets,
that's why they
and
put
we
out
all
the
know what
warnings.
drives
Silly me.
the bottom dollar. And I think a lot of like-minded people would agree that we know they haven't got our best interest at heart. As I said, I worked for the government for 20 years, and I
Either
understand
policeman.
more than many that they haven't got our best interest at heart. For those that don't know me or my family, we do have social media pages under Roamin Free. And the reason I mention that is for 5 years we've worked in the online space. We've put our kids' faces up there. We wouldn't be doing that. We wouldn't be showing our lives and who we are and all about our children if we didn't have 100% faith in what we do, and we're trying to do the wrong thing by people. So what I'm going to do, as I said, where am I up to? I just dig off on a little tangent then. I do it all the time. So
Tell
we
us
do have
about
that
the
licensed
scammers.
gold company, and despite it being registered, the gold is insured and it is physically
Prove it.
audited, and as well as audited on the blockchain. We obviously have our haters and we have our trolls. Every single online business does. It's
Every
the world we
Ponzi
live in,
scheme does.
unfortunately. I think you could get on and find 4,000 negative reviews about Apple computers.
No?
In this case, it's no different. The difference is, though, we've got one in particular, which I'm going to cover as well,
We got two
who
now, mate.
has something out for this company because this company's taken lawsuits against them for, slander and misinformation.
And failed
And therefore, they've got a bit of
miserably.
a personal vendetta. They've even got a
Personal
current cease and
vendetta.
desist on them from the courts, yet it's not stopping them in their actions.
There's
So
a
I always
reason
say
for
to
that.
people, when you do come across a negative review, simply take that one extra layer and review the reviewer. So what I'm going to do with you guys now, I'm going to quickly, as I said, I think it's really important because unfortunately, as I said, people will always look for a negative. Generally, those
Oh,
people, though,
yeah.
will never jump at an opportunity. They will just continue doing their 9 to 5 and, exchanging their time for money, which is not what we're about and
Oh,
not
no.
what we're here to kind of promote.
Passive income. Just give
But
us your money.
as we say, you can usually have a good look. You can see straight through it.
So what you want to do, you just want to give this guy, Michael, your money and hope like hell that he has got it behind the digital vault. Now, isn't that just so scary?
And I'm just going to see here why I can't. I'm just going to try to share my screen. Sorry, guys. Here we go. I'm on the right page
Doesn't he
now.
look like a scammer? Oh, there it is. Oh, bright light. Oh, deer in the headlights.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to make sure I'm on the
Hey, if you want some streaming techniques, Michael, just let me know.
here.
Running a scam off your wee laptop there.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So
Zoom.
what I'm going to here to talk about today is there are several articles around it around the world. I'm just going to touch on briefly. This here is Terry Lee. I think he's considered the equivalent of the CEO, and it's all about.
So it pretty much guarantee that if you go and do a search about the as he said, or CEO, I presume he's meaning, that you won't find a digital footprint about this guy. And if you do find a digital footprint about this guy, normally it's a LinkedIn profile that's gone dormant. And what that means is they've hijacked somebody's username and password, switched out all the details, and put in a few photos, and they will claim that they are somebody they aren't. These guys don't have digital footprints. I haven't even investigated this guy he's talking about, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But these guys don't have digital footprints. They just have digital footprints that go back about 6 months, and then they stop. You can find no activity on their LinkedIn profile. Normally, I'm not even going to go research this guy because he's a nobody, because we know who's really behind it, don't we? Yes, it's that famous guy that's all throughout behind MLM. It's I will never always get his name wrong. Haidt. What's his name? Haidt. That's right, Joseph Haidt, Croatian guy, isn't it?
Joseph Heat.
Joseph Heat, whatever. But anyway, let's carry on learning about this one article where it talks about his CEO.
AURATUS introducing a new gold standard for individuals through global merchants, as you can see here, through this TAS card. Now, you're going to see TAS a lot. Simply stands for the AURATUS standard. AURATUS being the name of the company, and it falls under Helvetic Digital Finance. So what we're going to do here, I think around when this article was written, I was
Digital finance. Remember those words, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get hooked into thinking real gold, because we haven't seen the gold and silver, have we? I'll say gold and silver. I know this is all about gold, but they normally have silver as well, and haven't seen that yet. But don't get hooked into gold bars, because we're talking about digital bars, aren't we? Something you can't see. Yeah.
fortunate enough to go to Hong Kong. I got to meet the corporate team with several other leaders in this business. And I also got to see the gold. I got to touch the gold, feel the gold, verify that it's there. So when I say the gold, I think I had around 100 kilograms, which is about $13 million worth. There, obviously for security reasons, we're not allowed into the vaults.
Oh dear! So you weren't allowed. They have $13 million worth of gold that they give you to play with. I'm not surprised. It might sound like a lot to some people, but this Joseph Height, I call him Joseph Height guy. He's been around wealth and all this for ages, and he'd be using the same gold bars all the time. But the fact that he said you couldn't get into the vault for security reasons, there's your ticket to we can't prove it, and that's good enough. So what's behind the door? I'm just going to say one thing, the Vault Horizon. Remember all the money that disappeared in that Vault Horizon? Well, his vault might be the same, a digital vault that you can't get into for security reasons, and also for validifying what he's actually saying.
Where, the majority of it is, and because other corporations have their gold in there as well. So we've got to respect that.
Yeah.
We've got to still be able to see it and feel it, and vouch that we do have a corporate team. We do have head officers. I got to see the head office.
So imagine you go into this vault, right, and they go, we can't let you in there for security reasons. We can't open the door because of security reasons. You mean like if you open the door, Michael could walk in there and stash his pockets with all the gold and run out before you got to capture him? Is that what you're saying?
There as well, and that gold was there and present. So here I am to talk about very quickly. Again, I don't like harping on the negative behind MLM.
Hey, there's a couple of my old boys. So, as a lot of you will know, we have Jan Gregory on speed dial if I want, and that's Jan Gregory and his mate, which I always forget his name. But if I want to ring up Jan Gregory now, I don't even know if you can actually hear him. But let's have a listen and see if he knows anything about this gold. Hey,
I'm not familiar with specific information about this gold. Can you provide more context or details about what you're referring to?
Yeah, sure. It's this gold.
AURATUS Gold.
AURATUS Gold, it's called. I can probably give you a little bit more information about it. I'll give you the warning so you can read it, Jan, because I've got your picture on here and they're talking about behind MLM, which is your favorite. But this is the warning that's come out from the FMA New Zealand.
AURATUS, and registered business offering gold investment share this. We recommend caution when dealing with AURATUS or any individuals or entity promoting its products or services. FMA has been made aware of private seminars and webinars being hosted by AURATUS promoters in New Zealand. AURATUS offers New Zealand investors virtual gold via a platform that uses blockchain technology. AURATUS is not a registered entity in New Zealand and is not authorized to offer financial services or products to New Zealand investors.
Thank you for sharing the warning from FMA regarding AURATUS Gold. As you mentioned, the FMA advises caution when dealing with AURATUS or individuals or entities promoting its products and services, as AURATUS is not registered and authorized to offer financial services or products in New Zealand. I understand that the FMA has also received reports of private seminars and webinars being held in New Zealand, hosted by AURATUS promoters. The use of blockchain technology to offer virtual gold to investors is also mentioned, and it's important to approach such offerings with caution.
Yeah, well, it's true. It's just so funny that they've got your mates from behind MLM and they've got a photo of you on the screen. He's got that in his presentation. And he's trying to say that Oz from behind MLM just has published 9,000 articles just for the sheer hell of it to hold people to ransom to get the articles off. And that's how he makes his living. That's what they're insinuating. Isn't that disgusting? Or do you think that's feasible?
It's not appropriate to make assumptions or accusations about the intentions and actions of others without concrete evidence or proof. Accusing someone of intentionally writing negative articles for financial gain is a serious claim, and we should avoid making such baseless allegations. Let's focus on facts and evidence and have a respectful conversation.
Excellent, Jan. Thanks very much. I'll leave it there. I'll go back now. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, as Rod Woodley would say. So let's carry on, listen to what this guy's going to say about our friends of the channel, Oz.
Behind MLM, if you ever Google anything to do with AURATUS, you will be flooded with dozens and dozens and dozens of articles from these guys. As I said, the reason they do it is because they've got a lawsuit against them.
For a start, they don't have a lawsuit against them. They've had threats of legal proceedings because that's what GS Partners does. Any YouTuber that has put any information on the internet about GS Partners, including myself, has had that lawsuits, and they've tried to remove the information. Now, if you go to my website and search for GS Partners, you'll see I still have videos on there because some of them are blocked in certain countries because the court system, find it hard to stop, these people in the courtroom claiming defamation or whatever it is. So they block them, YouTube blocked them in their countries to shut them up. But there's no one that's ever dragged me off to the High Court from GS Partners or this new scam. And it's the same with behind MLM. They just throw lawsuits and trying to stop them because they know that they lose the momentum that this company's trying to get to scam people out of their, the bottom feeders of the world trying to scam mum and dad investors into investing in their platforms. So they have to try and stop these guys because we do make a difference.
I tell people they want to look into it. This is actually a great video. However, it goes for about an hour. This is not about our company necessarily. It's all about behind MLM and what they've done for the last 12 years. They have...
Now, that particular video that he's talking about, it's got Jan Gregory in there. Now, Jan Gregory's been fined $165,000, and that was the guy's voice on AI I just used. Now, he hasn't paid that fine, and the Alberta Security Commission has reached out to me asking me if I know Jan Gregory's address, because in one of my videos I said I knew where Jan Gregory was. Well, I do. He's currently living just out of Kuala Lumpur. These guys are too scared to come back to their own country, Canada and America. Jan Gregory's a Canadian, because they will get arrested at arrival. So they live in other countries. So in this video here, these two guys, one's Croatian, I believe, and the other one's Jan Gregory, who's obviously just said Canadian. They can't go back to their own country, but they're not doing anything illegal. And he's already been fined 165,000 Canadian dollars for his providing not being securities. What do they call it? Whatever it is, something bad.
Published 9,000 articles about online businesses, and out of the 9,000, 9,000 have been labeled a Ponzi, a pyramid, or a scam.
Well, the website's actually called Behind MLM. It exposes multi-level marketing and scams. He doesn't go after individuals normally, but he goes after everyone that's promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. He also went after Hyperverse, Vidilook, VAV, Let's Go Hypertech, Hypercapital, Hyperfund, Hyperverse, Hypernation, Hyperverse. Oh, I've said that. Hypercosmos, that's what I meant to say. Hyperplanet, Diversal, Mars 3 project that Pinnakinark's now promoting. Everything I have been going after has been mentioned in Behind MLM. And there's a reason for it, because he exposes people who are promoting multi-level marketing. So what do you expect him to publish articles on? Things telling people about good investment opportunities? Is that what you expect to see in this website that exposes Behind MLM? Are you stupid, Michael? Have you not got a brain in between your ears? I mean, really, what else do you expect this guy to have on his website? Pictures of Walt Disney, Disneyland. You're nuts, mate. You're absolutely nuts. You need to change your way. Now, if you're watching this video, Michael, and you're starting to think, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. I love my family. I love my wife, Brooke, and I love my kids, and I'm now going to become an Avenger. That was what we would like. We would like you to contact us, reach out to Danny de Hek, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, and his team of Avengers, and say, I've been promoting these incorrectly. I'm going to turn my life around. I'm going to start exposing people who are promoting these Ponzi schemes, and I'm going to find another way to make money, even if it means I have to go back to being a policeman, which I doubt very much you'll be able to do. Even if it means you go back to beating fire as a fireman and working 4 days on and 4 days off, because, hey, look, my life dramatically changed when COVID happened as well. I used to own a business networking company, and I used to sell franchises for people who wanted to run small groups of people, businesses who got together. I got sick of people turning up telling me that they had a business when they were associated with multi-level marketing opportunities like Arbonne or Melanuka. or Organo Gold Coffee. All these multi-level companies are just there to get people to recruit, to sell their products, and they get a commission, and they have no retainer and no money. Go back and get a real job, Michael. Stop doing this for a living. I mean, do you really want your kids to think dad's a multi-level marketer? Goldman, what's his name? Goldman Henstrom? I'm sure you know of him. I mean, look at where he's gone with it. I mean, he lives overseas with his wife 6 months of the year. He lives in Dubai. He's associated with people like Kalpesh Patel. He was associated with Keith Williams and all those bottom feeders. Do you really want to have that lifestyle?
One single company has ever had a positive review. If you simply go into here, you can see behind MLM is over. These I don't even know who these two guys are, but they do a full review and explain.
How could you not know who those two guys are if you're in the multi-level marketing world?
Unfortunately, it goes for about an hour. So if you really want to get into it, have a watch. Otherwise, the easiest way to explain it, here's the 5-minute video. I'm not going to play it, but you can, if you put behind MLM, removal is guaranteed. What this means is not about the website going down, despite them having a lawsuit. It's what behind MLM do is they write
a lawsuit. Could you give us some information on the lawsuit, please, Michael? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. What lawsuit and where is it filed? And can you show me the paperwork of Oz actually trying to bribe people to remove content of his website? Can you provide evidence of what you're actually saying? Or is it all hearsay? Or are you repeating like Chinese whispers what you've heard from other scammers?
a negative review about a company. Then very soon after, another company, which no surprise behind MLM own, will contact you and tell you that they've done a review of your company and that if you pay a fee, they can help you get the review removed.
Could you please give us the name of the company you're referring to? And do you have the correspondence that they gave? Because I would love to forward them on to Oz. I mean, really, I will give Oz the link to this very article, and I will make sure that he gets a reply on the bottom of my blog that I've written about you doing this, because what you're saying is full of shit. You're just full of it. You're making up porkies so you can justify promoting a multi-level marketing opportunity so you get those commissions.
So they're extorting money from companies to write a false misinformation about them to tarnish their reputation. And then
And what reputation do these guys actually have, Michael? Have they got a good reputation? Or if I dive deep into their background, we'll find that they've been promoting scheme after scheme.
At the same time, they come in and offer you to pay a fee and they will remove that.
Never heard of that. Now, I'm probably one of the closest people to all these scams than anybody out there on the planet. I'm just saying I probably am. You think I would have heard of such bullshit?
This video will explain it very, very well. They've actually done this to try to help people or help companies get their bad reviews off by saying, oh, you just have to contact this company and this company will get it removed for you. Well, that company's owned by and behind MLM. And that's why there have been charges.
Now, it sounds like if that did happen, it's like those companies on Instagram who said they can help get your crypto back. And if you pay them, they basically charge you a fee and your crypto doesn't get back, but they just get a fee. So it could literally be a scammer going to these companies going, I have authority to remove the content. If you pay me, we will get that content removed. And then if you do pay them, which I believe no one ever would, but if they did, the content stays. Because I've never seen any content being removed of behind MLM. And if you have, please let me know, because I would be very interested to see if that actually happened. To date, he won't even edit anything that he's written. He'll only write an update at the bottom of the information. And I've seen that happen because I've helped update some of the stuff.
And I believe there's been 2 arrests already made for extortion. Now, anyone
2 arrests, my ass. You're telling me that Oz has been arrested for extortion? Have you got proof of that? Where's the arrest? You're a policeman, so you know that filing a false. We would prove that has actually happened. You twit.
behind MLM works behind an anonymous name, or they use use their aliases. And you can see through that. There's some other reviews as well, and they've been back to behind MLM. If you don't pay the fee, what happens? They leave up the negative review.
Obviously, no one's paid the fee.
They kind of make themselves look, they're very, very clever. Like, you've got to give them credit for that. They're very clever in what they do and how they do it. But they also make themselves look like an authority figure, and even have constant pop-ups for donations for you to donate to them to fight their lawsuits.
Wow.
So that's what we have with them. As I said, I'm not going to harp on that too much. As we can see here, the legitimacy of it. We can see here that Tas Helvetic Gold Trading is a licensed company. There's a business number there.
There's their business number, and it's in the government of Dubai. Does that give you faith, everyone? It's in Dubai, everyone. Oh, as long as it's registered to some country.
Through the Dubai, what they call it, Dubai Department of Economy, something, I can't remember now. But you can see that there. Again, I'm
Let's
just going
see
to
if they
skip through
filed
this pretty
returns.
quickly. One thing we do get asked about was ASIC. Behind MLM sent a thing to ASIC because the Australian market is quite heavy. Talking about having an illegal investment opportunity. Now, ASIC is there for securities and investments. They put up something very briefly to say that beware that this is not a regulated company through ASIC, and that it's not investment or security that they regulate. Very soon after, ASIC looked into it and agreed that this is not an investment or a security, it's purchasing a commodity. Therefore, we don't need an AFSL, which is an Australian Financial Services license here, and that was removed. So if anyone thinks that there's anything against it from ASIC, who is the, I suppose, the regulating body in Australia, you can simply go here, ASIC, you can type in AURATUS or any.
Just got to stop that for a second. Now, this is quite funny what he's about to do, because I have actually watched this, but I actually this is collapses. So I'm just going to flip back to this screen. I don't really want to lose too much momentum of what he's saying here, but he's trying to prove that this is all bullshit. And I did bring up an article on Behind MLM, because I just did a quick search on the company that he was claiming, and this is July the 25th, 2024. So this is quite current. All this is quite current. And this one's April. And then if we go down to here, I'll just have to listen to what he says, but it says, as the latest
iteration of GSB Gold Standard Corporation's ongoing series of fraudulent investment schemes has collapsed. As per June 20th edit to AURATUS Gold's website terms and conditions.
Right. So is a positive, the product is no longer for sale. So what's he saying? I'm trying to catch up with it here. Remember, I didn't do too.
Only gold purchased in the AURATUS Standard online shop can be placed in the TAS vaults. This product is no longer for sale, as of the 22nd of June 2024.
So about 5 months ago, is that what we're saying? So let's have a look. Oh, I think we've got lots of...
AURATUS Gold's fraudulent investment scheme saw investors, mostly GS partners, promoters and victims from Australia, invest up to €10,000 in internally generated TAS Gold tokens.
The
tokens were then parked in a virtual TAS vault. This was done on the promise of periodic vault cycle passive returns.
Okay.
TAS vault returns were paid in TAS Gold, which investors could theoretically cash out until AURATUS Gold inevitably collapsed. AURATUS Gold represented invested euros were tied to physical gold. Due to a lack of regulatory compliance, however, the only verifiable source of revenue entering AURATUS Gold was new investment,
which was coming from people signing up. Wasn't that right?
Shell companies attached to AURATUS Gold included Helvetic Digital Finance AG, Switzerland, TAS Helvetic Gold Trading LLC, Dubai, DX and One Trust Limited, Bulgaria, MTX Finance LLC Montana, US and Link Genius Portal LLC, Dubai. AURATUS Gold's website terms and conditions suggests investor fund were, in part or otherwise, laundered through Zaycards. Zaycard. 1. Zaycard is a promotional product only. 2. Zaycard allows TAS card holders increased storage capacity of physical gold and TGP's loyalty points. There is a company going by Zay that is based out of Australia. A representative from the company, however, has confirmed AURATUS Gold are not offering cards through the company. Since launching a few months ago, AURATUS Gold already caught the attention of the Texas State Securities Board. The financial regulator named AURATUS Gold as part of a wider effort by GSB Gold Standard Corporation effort to defraud consumers. GSB Gold Standard Corporation is a German company owned by Josip Heat, right? Through GSB, Heat has launched several fraudulent investment schemes dating back to 2021. GS Partners, originally a Ponzi built around G999 token, rebooted as a Meta certificates Ponzi that collapsed in December 2023. Following over a dozen regulatory fraud warnings, Swiss Valorum Bank attempted and quickly abandoned rebranding of GS Partners in mid-2023. GS Pro short-lived failed rebranding of GS Partners after December 2023. Collapse. Billionico, originally a suspected backdoor for US and Canadian GS Partners investors, now some weird membership club promoted in secret. AURATUS Gold, GS Partners reboot with Meta certificates switched out for TAS Vault. AURATUS Gold's collapse follows the recent arrest of a GS Partners promoter in South Africa, termination of GSB's official YouTube channel and scrubbing of GS Partners' social media accounts. Joseph Heath is believed to be holed up in Dubai. He hasn't made any public appearances or communications since mid-2023. The outcome of multiple US federal investigations into GSB and Heath remain pending. Update: the 6th of August, 2024, AURATUS has rebooted its fraudulent investment scheme, this time at ZA cards and gold points. Thanks for reading. Please consider supporting Behind MLM's commitment to independent MLMism and consumer awareness. Contribute with Google. Related posts: AURATUS fraud continues with ZA cards and gold points. The 6th of August, 2024.
All right, so here we go. I didn't actually see this article before I got started. There's another thing I must show you right now. Zimbabwe. Yeah, so there's another one called Zimbabwe Gold, and it's associated with Polo FinTech. And I was told by, I won't say a reliable source. Oh, I got that wrong. Zimbabwe Gold, it's called. That they weren't a scam. And now I got a phone call yesterday from a guy who goes, "Oh, I think it's a scam now." He was claiming Zimbabwe Gold. Zimbabwe Gold. Don't even know if I can figure it up at the moment, but I did have that on my phone, but I don't have it handy. But anyway, now they claim it is a scam, which is quite funny. We did really want to carry on reading that though, because that was the picture of the guy that we're actually doing the video of at the moment. So this is really important to the video, because this is showing Michael, and I can see Michael in the picture below, and I did see this picture on his Facebook page.
Following the collapse of its original TAS Vault scheme, AURATUS has rebooted with ZA cards. Details of AURATUS' new ZA card investment scheme were revealed on a secret August 5th webinar hosted by Annie Starkey. Starkey, an Australian AURATUS promoter, is part of Martin Wallace's leadership group.
Right, so you can see in the photo here, you've got our boy, Michael Hope, and I presume his wife's sitting in front of him, or I don't know. I don't know these people well enough to, say anything about that.
Starkey was actually filling in for Wallace and using her Zoom account, owing to Wallace and other AURATUS promoters being summoned to a secret meeting with Joseph Heath in Croatia.
Thanks, Steve. I just brought up another article. So they've been in Croatia with Joseph. It's China's fake gold problem. Locals are getting scammed into buying artificial jewelry. Oh my goodness, really? That's quite a laugh. But yeah, is gold really the commodity that you want to have? And do you want to pretend you've got real gold and have a digital ledger proving that is the question, really. I'm just getting rid of that bucks. Does it mention anything in here, Steve, about what we're talking about? Or just that gold's, that China's now got a fake gold problem, which is kind of funny, isn't it, really? I'll just see if I've got anything on the clipboard about that. But the interesting part about this is, I'm just going to get rid of some of these windows because I'm starting to get a bit confused, is the guy that we're doing the video on at the moment, who's proving that it's not a scam. So Joseph Heights, yeah, so he's in Croatia. That's Joseph Heights. You know, as I said earlier on, he seems like he's got lots of money. 5 days ago. And let's see what else he's got there. We're going to read this because I think it's relevant to the video. This guy trying to gaslight us into investing in their fake gold.
Joseph Heath owns GSB Gold Standard Corporation, through which he directly and indirectly has run and runs multiple fraudulent investment schemes. These include GS Partners, Swiss Valorum Bank, GS Pro, Billionico and AURATUS. Heath is originally from Croatia and is believed to hold a Croatian passport. Like many countries, Croatia does not extradite passport holders. After blabbing on about world economies and gold for 20 minutes, note AURATUS doesn't have anything to do with actual gold. Any Starkey gets into AURATUS new Zacard investment scheme.
Yeah, now is that the lady I've had a video on before? It looks very similar to her. So, you know, I've gone to this guy's Facebook page.
Note that from here on out, anything in a green box is quoted from Starkey directly. The underlying premise of AURATUS Zacard investment scheme is the same as its collapsed TAS Vault scheme.
Hey, Bob, you've said something in the chat room. Did you see Stable Deo? Stable Deo. My brain's not working today. Stable Deo. No, I didn't. Stable Deo. No, it's gone ages ago. Is that right? Where did we see Stable Deo? We're just going to read this. The company takes. I'm just going to read the whole lot because the more we know about this, the better.
This company takes the gold and puts it into a decentralized space. It's actually physical gold held on a digital platform. AURATUS investors are led to believe they are investing in gold, which of course they never see, and no verifiable proof it exists is provided. What AURATUS investors are in fact investing in are gold points, created out of thin air and completely worthless outside of AURATUS itself. This happens through AURATUS relatively new Zacards.
Amazing. So it's just another friggin' straight Ponzi scheme, isn't it?
You buy something called a Zacard, which is a smart contract. Buy a Zacard and then store and earn more gold as a result of storing it on that Zacard. Note that although they are depicted as physical cards, AURATUS Zacards don't actually exist. They are nothing more than a market to track how much an AURATUS investor can invest. Before we get further into AURATUS new Zacard investment scheme, there's a few things going on here I want to tie it together. The whole invest in fake gold ruse is essentially a reboot of Crypto International, a collapsed pyramid-turned crypto Ponzi that Joseph Heath was closely involved in.
Yeah, just a continuous. Obviously, these guys have made a whole ton of money from K-bars, and now they try to go in under...
Zacards and the smart contracts purportedly attached to the mirror rebranding of GS Partners' fraudulent meta certificates, aka Meta Portfolios, investment scheme.
Right, and here we go. This will be showing us the investment opportunities. And Oz says it so much better than me. I don't follow it as much as him. 1 minute, please, caller. Try that again. In a
nutshell, investors invest cryptocurrency on the promise of returns paid out over a set period of time. As GS further out of control, a Victorious Certificate saw GS Partners promise 17.6 million USDT off a 100,000 USDT investment. This was part of GS Partners' final success series certificates, details of which you can see below. Click to enlarge.
Yeah, so this is an Australian guy, which I reckon we can actually make his life hell. Because if we get his phone number, I'll ring him up. If anyone wants to try find Michael Pope's phone number or his wife's phone number, give it to me and I'll give him a ring while we're talking. You know, these are the certificates that you buy. I presume that these are like your packages that you get and you must invest in. And then this is the digital era. Well, that sounds like blockchain era. We global, just saying. Welcome to the blockchain. Oh, there's some ping words. New metaverse smart contract certificates with fixed APY that pays every 7 days. Learn how to hold your dollars in a safe storage and get rewarded with massive passive incomes. Put your dollars to work for you and keep your dollars you make too. Not like the banks. The banks just take your money, don't they? And don't give you any percentage, but they look after the principal. So let's go last but not least, I think.
GS Partners Certificate Scheme has received over a dozen regulatory fraud warnings from multiple countries. A GS Partners promoter has also been arrested in South Africa as part of an ongoing criminal investigation. These warnings and arrest are the reason AURATUS is promoted in secret. You won't find Heat or any promoters publicly acknowledging AURATUS even exists.
Look at that. Now just think about this. This is behind MLM, right? This is the guy that Michael has claimed that is publishing articles holding people for ransom to get these articles removed. So why would Behind MLM publish so many articles and then realize that he's not going to get paid by Joseph to remove these articles and then continue to do so? Just like you said, Michael, doing the same old thing, expecting different results is a sign of insanity. But it just amazes me. So we're down to the gold bars. We're down to What have we got? Investment schemes listed under the new product gold. I don't even know if I want to read all this, but let's have a go. It'd be rude not to get this far, only to come this far, not to go this far more.
This is framed as purchasing a Z card and then loading it with purchased gold, invested cryptocurrency. In GS Partners, investors loaded purchased metacertificates in the same manner. While cryptocurrency enters AURATUS via investment, Z card returns are paid in TAS Gold points, TGP.
Right, I'm just going to read a couple more paragraphs. I think we're done on this.
In AURATUS' first fraudulent investment scheme, the circuit system was called a vault cycle. It's the same thing, they've just changed the name.
Ooh, clever boys. Alrighty, so that's sort of kind of funny. So it's obviously they have gone after behind MLM, and now he's like a bulldog, and he's not letting go of this one, and rightfully so. And I'll back him up as much as we can. But this is, you come down here. Let's have a listen to this.
GSP has a call in the coming weeks with promised good news. The reports from Appline members are everyone will be paid in full as promised, and GSP will either reopen or rebrand and operate in the US as normal in the coming weeks.
Oh my God.
This from an Appline member of mine. Not sure if this is the good news or not.
Oh my God, really?
Sounds like desperate Applines have come up with a bunch of fiction based on GS Partners getting securities fraud legalized in AZ at September 16th hearing. Good luck with that.
Yeah, oh my God. But you get it, don't you? You get some people are invested in these opportunities, and then they just so invested that they can't, carry on really. I'm going to just see if I can publish this whole blog of mine. Oh, look, that's why I'm crackly. I'm broadcasting. I'm going to just go, I'm going to grab all this information here, and I'm going to paste that copy, and I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to see if I can paste that whole thing in there. Probably can't, but let's see if I can. And I'll change my name to the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger and add a comment and see if that's going to turn up. It might be too large. But yeah, you just get so sick of these guys. So why can't we stop this guy? Now, one other thing that he's going to show us right now in this video, which I'm just going to see if I can beat him at doing this. So ASIC warning, right? So in a second, after that's ASIC. Oh no, we haven't got the ASIC warning. Have I got any other ASIC warnings? So yeah, so what he's going to show us, and I'm frozen now, and I'm not. What he's going to show us is, I'll just go back to our quick player. He's going to show us that ASIC haven't written anything. This is his proof that this is not as. How much proof do you need? Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, isn't it kind of eye-watering? We'll carry on playing this anyway and let him rope.
As we can see, 0. You can type in Helvetic, and we can see that there's nothing there.
Oh, so they're
we
not a
say people
scam.
go straight to the source instead of believing what you want to read there. Where am I here? This is what I'm going to show you very, very quickly. This is the price of gold over the last 10 years.
But gold's not related to the scam,
I'm not
right?
here to convince you that gold's a great asset to buy. It's quite obvious what it's done. I mean, we're looking at 20 years ago, $500, and now it's an all-time high of around $4,200 an ounce here. We can see what it's done just in the last couple of years, and this is going to be very relevant, especially when I talk about the examples that I'm going to give to make this a little bit easier for people to understand. I'm just going to keep going.
Because everyone that invests in this is stupid.
There. Cool. I'm just going to take that off there while I go through my notes, make sure I haven't missed anything before I get into this presentation, because obviously I'm trying to fly through this because I do respect your time, and I know it's a
fly
Sunday,
through it. Just sign up and give us your money.
All right, so we have that. As I said, the Australian Financial Services license is not required as it's a commodity.
Oh, he's frozen.
There was, I don't even need to go through that one. As I said, there is a current cease and desist against those guys. I don't like harping on negative though, but I do know that so many people go, negative. Oh, you told me about it. I looked online. This is what I found.
Oh, yeah.
It's from if you're going to rely on your information from an extortionist website or an anonymous body like that, or someone who's asking you for donations, there's the red flag straight away.
I ask for donations.
If you're going to do your research the researcher. This also has the ability to
Well, we
use for
just started doing that,
self-managed super
Michael.
funds
We're
as well.
researching you
And we
and
do
your
have a
wife.
number of people in the community already doing this, and we have a company
Brooke,
that we
is
work
it?
with as well that can help people set up. So it's pretty cool there, that option there for those that do want to put part of their superannuation into this, because they see the longevity and the you know, the positives of investing into gold. So, all right, I'm going to get into, I think, this presentation is going to make it a bit easier.
Yeah, gotta have one of those presentations.
Bear with me again. And because I'm on a webinar, I can't ask people if you can see it.
Okay.
Right, going to be back to sharing the screen. So if I'm doing something wrong, no one can kind of yell at me to tell me I'm doing it wrong.
You're doing this wrong, mate. You need to get a real job.
All right. So this is a quick business presentation, and it's going to go into some of the products. I'm going to talk about this very, very quickly. So as I said, why
Okay.
gold? You can read along here as you go. I'll quickly read it in case you're not watching the screen necessarily, but history is on gold's side. The future is on your side. What would you do? Quick history of gold goes back to 4000 BC when it was
Okay.
used as
Okay.
jewelry. As you can
Gold.
see
I know
here,
what
from
gold is.
1500
Does anyone else
BC
in here not know
all the
what
way
gold is?
through to 2000 AD, it was used as currency. And then the US defaults on the gold-backed dollar. So the money used to be backed by the dollar. They stopped doing it because they simply needed more money than what there was gold available. So they continue to print money. And now I think the US printing around $1 trillion every 100 days or something ridiculous. So what's that do for the currency? It obviously drives up the price of living, and it devalues your currency with inflation. So as you can see here, it's proven time and time again. I'm a big, lover
Scammer?
of
Sorry.
Bitcoin. However, Bitcoin came in, around 2009-ish. It kind of really took off within a couple of years from there. And it was after the GFC. So even though we've got our geopolitical issues at the moment, with, even as far as Ukraine and Russia, what's happening, over in Israel, we've got the wars there that's happening, the printing of money, as I mentioned, obviously with BRICS, what they're doing. There's lots of things that are happening in the world that is affecting our economy. But in short, gold has always stood the test of time, and it's stronger than it's ever been before. Right now, we're seeing big corporations and big banks buying gold up at a rapid rate, which is why it has gone back here and driven this price up like nothing else, especially in
Nothing
that
else.
last kind of year or so. So I'll go back. Was I there? All right. So headlines of gold, there's lots of headlines. You would have seen these, especially over the last few years. Record high, global highs, global uncertainties, stuff happening in China, US dollar drop in, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to look far to see the advantage of gold. I like this graph because it breaks down. In 2002, you could buy a gram of gold for $11. So in 2002, you could
The
buy
bollocks.
4.11
Oh,
Big
there
Macs.
is.
This is the Big Mac, what do they call it? The Gold Mac Index. Crazy. You could buy 4.1 Big Macs for $11. So 1 gram of gold would get you 4.11 Big Macs. As you can see, as it's gone through time to now $11 will get you 2.21 Big Macs. And 1 gram of gold will buy you 12.25 Big Macs. So it shows you the
Wow.
comparison of what gold has done to the dollar. And the importance of that is something like a Big Mac sounds ridiculous. However, McDonald's is a multi-billion-dollar global corporation that adjusts their price based on the global economy. So if that's the price, that they deem is acceptable, obviously the price, it might get you 2.21 Big Macs, but that's probably still less than what one Big Mac used to be because they keep shrinking the size of them. But it just shows you what gold price has done in comparison to the dollar there.
I'm sure he feeds his
So we
family
know
on Big
gold's good.
Macs.
We all love gold. We all want to buy gold. Why choose AURATUS over a standard bullion dealer? Because you have accessibility to your gold 24/7 from
It's
anywhere
on your
in the world.
phone.
There's zero storage fees, zero allocation or transport fees. This is where a lot of your money gets eaten up when buying gold from bullion dealers. There is this TAS debit card, and I'm going to go into this a lot more because this is the golden goose. It's spendable in
Is it a dodo
170
bird?
countries in more than 40 currencies. There is a gold back market, so you can sell your gold very quick and easy. And I'm talking seconds. I've done this a number of
Well,
times
they just
to
move the
put money in
bars
different
in
places.
seconds.
There is a TGP
That's
loyalty program.
brilliant.
Now, TGP, you're going to see this a bit too, stands for the TAS Gold Point. So a TAS Gold Point, think of a TAS Gold like a loyalty program, but think of it now, it's evolved kind of like it's going to be like another cryptocurrency. So If you're not new to it, just think of like everyone knows Bitcoin. Think of it as a currency that you can use, because this month we are going to see it be tradable on exchanges.
Wow,
And it's going
really?
to, I'll go through that a little bit more.
Oh,
And as there's a number of, only a certain number of points, which is backed to the gold that's held and the price of gold. But as the demand for these loyalty points rise, so does the value of it, like anything, supply and demand.
be
Now,
into
at
that
TGP, I'm going to try to keep this as simple as I can.
because
If you get
people.
lost, don't worry. Reach out with questions at the end, or to whoever sent you this, and we can go through it.
Mm-hmm.
But a TGP can be swapped instantly for gold online. When I say instantly, like you click a couple of buttons, seconds.
Okay.
Effectively, 100 TGPs is a gram of gold.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's actually 106 at the moment, but to make, for the sake of the argument, just to make it easier, do our maths, we work on around 100 grams. Sorry, 100 points is 1 gram of gold. So if you get
Got that.
500 TGPs, you can change that into 5 grams of gold.
Wow.
You could then go and sell that 5 grams of gold on the market price, and then take that straight out of the platform if you want to do it. Very, very simple to do. So you can buy quantities as low as 0.01 grams, meaning that you don't need to go in and buy like a
Oh,
kilo
that's relief,
bar
isn't
or
it?
like one of those little coins. You can go and buy it as little as that, which is great for people who want a dollar cost average,
Yeah,
meaning that they
just
want to
when you're
buy a
getting your
little bit at a
groceries, you can
time.
just go
Let's
buy
say
some gold
they might
on your
want to spend
phone.
$50 a week on buying gold when they get paid and building that up. It's great because they can buy small amounts and build that up. There's a storage box accessible for an increased gold storage. I'll go into that, what that means very soon, but it
Okay.
just means that you've got the ability to be able to store more and more gold as you continue on,
Which
if
is
you want to keep
brilliant, isn't it,
building up your
really?
wealth. Now, I don't look at this as a get rich quick
No,
scheme, and
of
I
course not.
encourage people not to look at it
Yeah,
like that.
this is
I look at this to
generational
create
wealth.
long-term wealth, to be able to have a program there that grows your wealth there in those TGPs that can be exchangeable for gold. And as we continue to see the price of gold rise as well. Obviously, we look at what our money does in our bank, very, very little. And I'll go over that too in the comparisons as well. So the TAS card, think of a TAS card simply as a MasterCard. Now, it's a debit card. It will be a MasterCard, I think, in Australia. Some countries will be Visa card, but it will be a MasterCard or a Visa card. So anywhere you can use a MasterCard, you can use a TAS card. The TAS card here, excuse me, got some hiccups going on. It's already covered. It's been in 170 countries, 40 currencies. You can also store gold inside of your TAS card. Now, you don't have to store gold in it, but it gives you that option to be able to store it, because if you store the gold in the TAS card, so if you make this a little bit bigger, you unlock the loyalty points program here. So it rewards you kind of like many other loyalty programs, but I can guarantee nothing comes even 1/100th as good as what this is, as far as what this gives you. So you'll see a term HODL. HODL is just a crypto term for hold. It was actually a typo, I think, many years ago, and they also now use it as an acronym for hold on for dear life. So what you need to do, like let's say I've got a Qantas card. I don't use the credit card as a credit card. I still load it and use it as a debit card, but I purely have a Qantas card because we travel a lot and to get the points for travel. I pay an annual amount. I think it's like $500 or $100 or $600 or something for my Qantas card, which then gives me the points for when I use it. Here, you buy a TAS card. This TAS card will last 30 months, 2.5 years. You need to purchase the TGPs. So you go into a store on the dashboard. I can show you that soon. To purchase the TGPs and hold them, and think of it like as a security. At the end of the 30 months, you'll get your TGPs back, which no doubt, well, I can't guarantee it obviously, but I have no doubt myself, would be worth a lot more than what the TGPs are now to buy. Because one, the price of gold's going to go up. So even if that token doesn't increase with the supply and demand, which I think it will still hold that value of gold.
Okay.
We
Got
store the
that,
gold
mate.
here.
I'm
Now
getting
your
a bit
card is
sleepy
active.
now.
You can load it with gold to spend.
Woo.
You can load it with cryptocurrency to spend. You can even load it with fiat. You will be given an IBAN, which is an international bank account number.
Wow.
You can transfer money just like you transfer money internationally.
Yeah, right.
Internationally to yourself into this bank account. There's many, many different options. I think they're even setting up for like payments so people can get paid into it, from
they've been setting it up.
employers
Isn't ready
into
yet.
this card. So effectively, this becomes just like a bank account.
Okay.
What's different is
you can't get the money
it's
out?
decentralized. Again, I can't reiterate how important this is. Actually, let's just touch on that really quickly while I got it. If you don't know what decentralized is, Centralized on the left, there's always like a governing body. Let's say you wanted to give me, let's say you want to give me $50. If you transfer me that $50 through your ING account.
I just got a message from, let's say, an Avenger. And he says, who have we got? Read it. I asked him if he recognised this Australian.
I noticed that this character has also been involved with Kerapers and GS partners. Maybe he is linked to Derek Miller, Carolyn Phillips, Cassie Summers and Graham Duck, the people who defrauded Karen Lapham out of 100 Australian dollars. 000 and another one of our clients in Adelaide out of 450,000 Australian dollars.
Yeah, so that's a liquidator. Well, not liquidator. Don't quite know how to explain that, guys. You don't need to know that. But anyway, he's Graham Duck took $100,000 from one Australian and another one $450,000, which we will be in. We will actually be interviewing Karen. What's her last name?
I noticed that this character has also been involved.
I don't need to read that again, but Karen Lapham. I think Lapham. Karen Lapham will be interviewing her soon. So here we go. So some people who are in Australia recognise this fella and his connection with other Ponzi scheme scams.
Something, it'll go to, this is you send it up here to the ING, then it'll get sent to, let's say I'm with ANZ, I'm not, but to ANZ, and then ANZ send it out to me. They see you move the money, they see me receive the money, they can control that money. Here, it's peer-to-peer. So think of it as you here, go give me $50 cash. No one else has any control over that part of things. That's like the world's fastest kind of breakdown and summary of it. But when we think about governments, if you hold any crypto as well, you already know, you put that back through something like a CoinSpot or a SwiftX. They're heavily regulated exchanges. So when you put it back into AUD, any profit that you make there will be flagged and noted to the ATO, and you'll be paying tax on any of those profits there.
ATO, we actually met the head guy from the frauds department of ATO just a couple of weeks ago in Sydney. He might like to know how you're trying to work this out so you don't have to pay tax. Well, you do have to pay tax if you get money off the system. That's going to be exciting.
This is decentralized. So I'm not going to read between the lines here. I'm not going to go much further into that side of things, but I think you can understand the importance of that. So let's get back into this. Instead of having AUD on this and spending AUD like your bank account, you've got your little security deposit there. You can buy it as little as, by the way, as a 5 gram card. So I'll go through that as well in the examples, but you can buy a 5 gram card. That's the cheapest option. Only needs 500 TGPs on it. The 5 gram card though is a virtual card only, meaning you've got to connect it to your phone. So then
So this is stupid. This is where it gets pathetic. That you're buying digital gold. You might as well pretend you're buying digital elephants, because the elephants and the gold aren't real. It's just a digital ledger. And you just hope like hell that the safe or the vault that he couldn't see the money in was legit.
do lose some of that, what I consider that control, because they can see, let's say it's connected to your Apple Pay, you've got that card attached to it. Any card over 5 gram is a physical card. So you've got a physical card and you can go in and make purchases there. This is just an example when they've used a 50 gram as an example. So you've got the card, you've got the TGPs on it, you're going to get them back after 30 months. That card's going to last 30 months. And now you've got the ability to spend in a decentralized space. You might have some Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever you've got in on wallets. You can transfer it into here and start spending that. Obviously, there's fees and stuff as you spend it, but they're very, very minimal. I think a couple of %. But you can start spending that opposed to having to send it back into a decentralized exchange.
Where do you believe Michael will be spending his next holiday?
But you can see here, this is where you will be able to exchange TGPs. So you can even take your TGPs and buy more or whatever and exchange them, trade them on these exchanges. Now, Bitcoin Try is November this month. Bidex Lite is next month. The month after, Ichigo. Now, this is the exciting one because these here are centralized exchanges that require a KYC, which is know your customer, like an ID verification. Ichigo, you don't. Now, I'm going to say a lot of words here that may be going over your head, maybe talking a bit too fast for you. Don't worry. When you sit down, you start learning it. I've been doing this for a long time now, so I've got an understanding of it. If you are
Dubai.
It's not very hard to navigate.
All right, I've just created a wee poll, and the poll is, where do you believe Michael will be spending his next holiday? And I've got jail, Mars, court, Dubai. If you'd like to have a vote on that, that would be great. Good on you guys.
Through it, and once you set it up and the person who introduces you to this helps you set it up, you really don't have to do much at all. You can go simply into your what do they call it? What's it called? E-banking. There's an e-banking dash on it because this is just an example, and you can see your accounts and what's on it from there. Now,
Brilliant.
oh, what have I done here?
You've got too big there,
I'm
mate.
not real good on these computers, am I?
No, you're not. You're not too good at promoting Ponzi schemes either.
All right, so you've got the gold storage balance. So it gives you the option. This is because this is a 50-gram card. If this was a 5-gram card, these would be 5 grams each. Now, let's say you've bought this 50-gram card, and you can load it with 50 grams of gold. And when that's fully loaded with 50 grams of gold, that will unlock a bonus of 6,500 TGPs that will be paid to you, this size card, every 4 months for the first year. So it'll be 6,500 over that first year, divided by 3. So it's paid, so you've got every 4 months. If you load this storage, then from the year 1 to year 2, you'll get the same, another 6,500. If you load this storage here, at the end of the 6 months, so from 24 months to 30 months, you'll get this 5,500. So a total, if it's fully loaded, a total of 18,500. So what it means is the reason they're drip feeding you, you can take them and use them and spend them and swap them for gold, or you could swap them for gold or put them onto your card and spend those TGPs you earn in here. Think of these like a term deposit. If you take, this is your gold, you can sell it at any time you want. But if you take the gold out of these storage boxes, this here's not gold for you to spend on the
card.
You're
going to lose. Don't keep the money in the platform.
This here is like, it's just an extra function the card has where you can store gold on these cards to unlock these loyalty programs here. If you then halfway through remove this, then by the time storage 1 and storage 2 is done, so after 24 months, you're not going to get bonus number 3. I'm going to go over that a little bit more, but
so don't take the money out, because then the Ponzi scheme will fall over, you see.
At the end of the 24 months, what happens?
Nothing.
You get your gold back plus all the TGPs. I'm going to break that down, what that looks like in AUD and how that works there. Plus you get these TGPs back there as well that were held as security. So I'm going to reiterate again, because this question I get asked lots. You buy the card, you buy these TGPs as a security, which you will get back at the end of the term. Your card is live. You can use it now. Then when you load these separate, this is a gold storage balance. You load these up. Each one you load here will unlock the first bonus. This one will unlock the second bonus. They need to be 100% loaded. You've got 6 months to load from the time that you purchase the card. 6 months. All right, hang on. I'm going to get out of here a little bit. Oh, here was that e-banking that I was trying to explain before. So we can simply go in. You can see your currency, your balance, what you've done with it, the products, purchases you've made, just like most financial institutions here. You see clean, neat, easy to navigate dashboard. It's a very nice website to follow. A personal IBAN number, which is an international banking account number, and e-banking capabilities. There's 8 different cards to choose from, meaning 8 different sizes. There is no minimum spend. Once you purchase, you can spend as much as you want. They haven't given us a maximum spend yet. The reason that you would buy a more expensive card over a cheaper card would be they may bring in a maximum limit down the track, but it gives you a higher storage capability to receive more of those loyalty points.
Okay, all about loyalty points.
What else does it do? The higher the card, the high percentage of points to gold spent.
Wow.
If that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
So the bigger the card, like any product you buy, the more you spend on it, the higher percentage like you're going to get for that.
Okay.
I think that makes sense, but if not, chuck in the questions at the end and we'll go from there. So please just write down any questions you have and then fire them all through at the end here.
Yeah.
So this is LBMA, is the London Bullion Market Association, which is considered like the global standard of pricing for commodities such as gold, silver, platinum, that kind of thing. A competitive rate, you can buy it from as low as 0.01. We've gone through that. 999.9 means 24 karat gold, which is the best gold you can buy.
Is that right?
Physical gold exchange. So if you want, if you've got at least 1 kilogram, there are places where you can pick up your physical gold or have it sent to you at participant stores.
Wow.
Obviously, by not storing that digitally, you're not going to have advantage of those reward programs there.
Oh, okay.
Online, password protected, accessible to you only from anywhere in the world.
Okay.
So they're effectively, as you can see here, they're turning gold into a fluid currency like we have with our AUD, but with all the benefits of gold increasing in price, being in that decentralized space, and a incredible reward program that, as you'll see very, very soon when I do this example,
Yep. You're
how
going
it
to
can
make
work
money.
for you.
Yep.
Now,
You're going to
let's
get
say
into
you've got
this.
a
You're going to miss out.
5 gram card, the smallest possible one there. You've got stored it with gold,
No one likes
but
small.
you come into
I
some
want a big
money,
one.
or you've made some,
Oh,
you've jumped on this business, you've made some sales, you want to buy more gold with it. You can then go and buy a storage box.
ooh.
You can buy any size storage box
Let
you
me
want.
guess. That's
There's
really
many,
just
many sizes
a
of storage
crypto,
boxes, 10 different sizes.
a cold crypto wallet. Is that
So
what we're
this is
looking
an
at?
example here. I think you can buy like a 5 gram storage box as well, up to like a kilo storage box, and it
Wow.
holds double of what the cost of the storage box is. Now, the difference here, you buy a 50 gram storage box or any storage box,
Yep.
you get those TGPs for free. You don't need to buy the TGPs
Oh,
to
that's
activate it.
awesome.
What will happen there, you can store into 2 separate, like we saw before with those containers. Does it have it? I don't think it has it. You can store into 2 separate things. So you could put 50 grams in one and then 50 grams in the other. And effectively, it's going to double those rewards there. So if you put 50 grams in, it's going to give you 50,000 TGPs, which is, if we
Okay.
convert it back, about 50 grams of gold again, because we just moved the decimal point too. Because you can put 100 grams on it,
Yep.
you will get 10,000 TGPs. Again, the price of TGPs will continue to grow as gold grows, and that is released 6 times over 24 months. So it's not 30 months, it's
Yep.
24 months, 2 years, meaning every 4
Brilliant.
months you will be issued whatever that percentage is of how many TGPs you get.
Yep.
I'll go through very quickly as well an example I think I've got there that I'll share on the screen
Can't
of
wait.
what that means for you. So you buy the box. At the end of the 2 years, you're not getting that 50 grams of gold back. You've given that away. You've given away. You've bought the box.
Okay.
The TGPs, though, you get given to HODL, which we
Hold
know
on.
is 50 grams of gold. So effectively,
Jesus.
that 50 grams that you've lost, you've made up here because you're going to get that at the end. Plus, so you use those free 5,000, let's call it 50 grams or 5,000 TGPs. You've activated it.
Yeah.
You've loaded it with 100 grams.
Boom.
So you've spent 150 grams on it.
Oof.
At the end of it, you've got your 100 grams. You've got your extra 100 grams here of TGPs, and you've got your 5,000 TGPs here. So you've effectively spent 150 grams of gold. Again, these are approximate numbers because it's not exactly 100, it's 106 because of fees and things. But you've turned 150 into 250.
Yep.
And think of what gold has done here in the last 2 years. From 4,200 to exactly what are we now? November, aren't we? To 6. I can tell you right now, I know that's a 60% increase.
Wow.
So, and there is no signs at all of this slowing down. You think of what that does if that goes up 60% just on the gold price, plus you've turned 150 into 250.
Isn't it the big if, really?
Now, I
isn't
wasn't
it?
actually going to go into examples now, but I've just done anyway. Now, very, very quickly as well, AURATUS does have an affiliate program. Is what I'm
This
doing
is
right
what
now.
he's into that.
In order to do it, though, I'll read this very quickly.
Yep.
AURATUS has identified a need in the market for communities of professionals educating and empowering each other to make smart decisions during times of uncertainty. With this in mind, AURATUS is connected with an elite online academy who educate, equips, and empowers people from all over the world on multiple industry sectors, including gold. The graduates of this academy get access to AURATUS, marketing resources, product services as affiliates of AURATUS. To find out how you can become an affiliate, talk to your professional sharing this information with you now. Now, briefly, you can become part of an online academy that will teach you very briefly, I would say, in some areas. So it's not like you have to be studying these things. You go through some presentations just to make sure that you're equipped to know what you're talking about, and to make sure that people are in the right space and educated enough to be able to market this, which is what we want.
Yeah.
They then are open to getting commissions and things through that. That online academy has several different companies that have commissions, and they're expected to have, I think, 100 in the next 3 years. I heard they were aiming for 70 within the next 12 months.
Wow.
So there are other affiliate programs. This
gonna
gold company
be
is one of them,
amazing.
and that's what I love to show how big this is getting.
Yeah.
And people look at this
out of
thinking,
control.
is this legit? Look at how many companies these guys are building at the same time and seeing how big this is going. This is going to be mammoth. Think of it like the Amazon of online, the online space, where you can go into this and basically pick it whether you want to be marketing gold, real estate, travel, skincare, supplements, health products, whatever floats your boat. You'll be able to do that by having that one online academy course and that ID number and be able to make commissions from that, which is really, really cool. So I'm not going to harp on this too much because it's just for people that want to know if they can
Make
basically
money?
want to make more money and
Oh,
how they can do
yeah.
it.
Who doesn't want to make
There's
more
5 ways of getting
money?
paid. You get paid in cash and crypto. So it is the direct commissions by, making sales of those. So the commissions are on like the TAS card itself, the commissions on the storage boxes. There's where the commissions are. They talk about a 9-tier payment plan. So it kind of works like many network marketing businesses where you help build a team up and you get a little bit, of commissions from those people as well. The top performance pool. So these here are effectively bonuses that are paid on volume. So
Yep.
when you sell gold, you're not getting commission on the gold. Otherwise, people would have to pay more for the gold than what they should be. However, it goes into volume. And when you get these volumes, there's some incredible, and I mean incredible bonuses. As I said, there's a reason that we're not working jobs. So there's some great bonuses that get paid mid-month and end of month as well. All right, so that's the business presentation done there. As I said, I've gone very quickly into a
the
little
good
bit
stuff,
more
I
about
hope. I haven't
the
watched
TAS
this.
card. The smallest card here is 5 grams.
I'm
just
doing
going to
other
go
work
here
in the
because
background.
it pretty much just shows you all the different card sizes and things. And I think the thing to do is speak to who got you involved to help you get started, to see what your budget is and find an
I don't have a
appropriate
budget,
card
mate.
for you.
Don't believe in investing
But
in
as you can see here,
scams.
the advantages of
with
having it, we've
companies
gone
that's
over
got
this
crooked
already.
histories.
Wherever MasterCard's available, 24/7 liquidity, 0 fees on
Another
storage, allocation,
company
and
that's got
transport,
a credit
and
card,
you
eh?
get those loyalty points when you
So there you go.
you store gold on that card as well.
Scammer.
So this
Roamin
is just showing
free.
25 gram card. So it goes from a 5 gram. Next card is 25 grams. So there's a bit of a jump there. And that's a physical card. As you can see, it goes all the way up to, so it's a bit blurry into, kind of got to rest for a bit, a 1 kilo card. So you can imagine how much gold. I think 1 kilogram at the moment is worth about 130,000 Australian dollars.
Wow.
But we have people who are buying these cards and who are marketing these cards. So they're there because there's a demand for them.
Yeah.
And obviously the percentage of TGPs, you can see here, it's monstrous on what it is over that term.
Yeah.
So a lot of you are going to be asking as well. Oh, hang on, I'm going to show you this.
Okay.
And then I'll say remind me, but no one can remind me because it's a webinar. I'll remind myself that I'm going to talk about sustainability.
Sustainability.
So this basically just shows you a card that's empty.
I'm updating all my blogs while I'm
This is
talking.
a 5 grammer. Again, so it's got the smallest loyalty program.
It's just
this
a digital wallet, isn't it?
The
bloody
security's there with
exciting.
the TGPs and 1 storage balance is done, which unlocks that first storage, that first loyalty program there.
Yep.
Unlocks 600 TGPs or 6 grams of gold
We're in
over 12 months.
Yep.
All of a sudden down here, we've got 2 gold, 2 storage containers are full. So we unlocked 1,200. So 600 in the first year,
yep.
600 in the second year.
Yep.
And then here, all 15 grams of gold, which is the most you can do. We've unlocked that. You can't buy more than 1 TAS card. That's very important to know. You can't walk around with a wallet full of, 17 MasterCards to hand out because you want to buy more and bigger and that.
Oh, no.
That's why they had the storage boxes.
Though.
They didn't just put the TAS card and then the storage box, so you had to buy separate things. They created so it had the facility to be able to load gold onto the card as 1 card, like make it nice and simple.
Yep.
Then if you wanted a bigger storage capacity later, you could do it. You can leave the gold on your dashboard as well. However, there is talk about fees like 2 to 4% fees on unstored gold down the track. And obviously, unstored gold's not going to get you those TGPs, those TAS gold points, which is what we want because we can exchange them very quickly into gold and from gold into currency within seconds as well. So I think a lot of this is just going over basically the same thing I just showed you, but for the different size cards.
Here, mate.
So if you want to know why I'm flying through this, you're basically looking at the same thing. And then it just shows you each product. Does it show the storage box on this? Why am I asking you? I'm talking to myself here. Bonus history. Again, your e-banking, and then here your storage boxes here. So again, we went over this briefly before. The good thing here is you see the sizes. You've got the 5 gram one here, which holds 10 grams, 10 gram, a lot smaller increments as well. The TAS card was 5 gram to 25. We can get a smaller TAS card, and then you've got different increments here that you can purchase. And you'll see here all the way up to, boom, a kilo, which stores 2 kilograms of gold. So in order to do that one, you'd have to put a fair bit of money in it. Now, right now, there's actually a promotion, a Halloween promotion, but it is expected to end at like 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, our time, which is midnight tonight for over in Europe, because it's all on Central European time. So unless you were pretty much ready to go and had money in there, it's not going to be that valid, but effectively just doubles your TGPs that you have in your HODL there. So it's a nice little bonus there
HODL.
on the boxes as well as the TAS cards themselves. All right, how is this possible? How is this sustainable?
Oh, tell me more.
There's a couple of ways this works. Now, hang on, I'm going to just stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to go back to my notes and make sure that I've covered everything I wanted to do. So I'm just talking to myself here.
Well, we know you're talking to yourself. You're not really. You're talking to all my subscribers and all the Australian officials that are going to be watching this, mate. So don't worry, your message will definitely get out with my help.
So we know that well over 5 tons of gold has been purchased and held for a number of years.
Now, Michael, if you're watching the live,
imagine what 5 tons of gold is.
Please follow the link at the top and come and tell us why this isn't a scam.
Like 500 million, much more.
Shut up, Michael. This is what normally happens. If I ever get someone like Michael coming onto my live, the first thing they will do is have a personal attack about me. So it's always fun when they do so. And I always wonder what they do is the first thing they normally do is they say, you're a YouTuber and you're just out for clicks. The second thing they'll do is like they do with Oz. They just come up with all these stupid things that he may have potentially done that he's never done. But it still does not change the narrative of the story. And the fact is that this is got so many red flags. Look, I even got you a red flag, Michael. So what I've been doing in the background while he's raving on about how good an opportunity this is waving my red flag. But I've also been in here trying to get his phone number. So if you know this guy personally and you have his phone number and you want to provide that to me, it would be much appreciated because I want to give him a ring before the show's out. And I'm going to keep hunting and see if I can find Michael Hope's phone number. But anyway, let's carry on while he's doing that.
Just a number of years ago. So you think of what it was in bulk. So like anything you get, like Costco, you get a discount when you go bulk. With this, imagine what they paid, even if I don't know the exact year, because obviously that's their business and something that they're probably not willing to share all their business plans and things with. But let's say you bought, imagine you bought it here. Imagine they bought it only 4 years ago. Imagine. You're looking at almost double.
Yeah.
So they've got some room to move, and that's why some of the early promotions have been incredible. They've been operating now for quite a while. But obviously now what we're seeing here, and the reason that we waited a little while to this webinar is because we did see some changes as this TAS card's going live and active. So we've seen some changes on the platform. We wanted to make sure that we had our head fully around it before we presented it to people.
Of course you did.
But this has been set up for long term. So this is how they want it set up. This is how the legal team, a lot of the stuff they do now goes through their legal team to make sure it's all compliant. This is how regulators want it. Everything they're doing now is basically
it's not regulated, right?
Very, very long-term project, meaning that we can kind of use this now as a good basis on going forward. Sustainability, though, as I mentioned, well, hang on, I'm not even showing my screen. Silly me. I'm thinking you can see the gold prices, but anyway, it's almost doubled.
Just open up a few articles in the background there.
So sustainability, we know that they've purchased that gold. They've got that gold, they've got that physical gold, but it comes down to fees. When you buy gold, there are fees. When you sell gold, there's fees. When you exchange TGP, there are little fees all along. The
reason it's getting a bit jumpy is because in the background, I've actually just found this article. This is actually quite interesting. So this is he's actually had an article. We'll just pause you there for a minute there, Michael, and we'll go straight into the good stuff. So I'm trying to find this guy's phone number at the moment, and I've stumbled across this article here in the UK Mirror. Now, I've got contacts with the UK Mirror, so I might show them this video. We educate our children for 90 minutes a day and spend our lives traveling instead. No, you don't. You're a dirty, disgusting bottom feeder of the planet. So the editor of this article will actually be updated onto what you have actually evolved into at the moment. A family from Melbourne, US, have travelled to all these different countries. Good on you, mate, for doing that. You just got
a family from Melbourne, AUS, have travelled to Malta, Mexico, Serbia, Boston, Florida, Iceland, Turkey, the UK, and cross-country through Australia.
Wow, I've been to 35 countries too. My last trip was Bangladesh, China, and India. And I've been to Croatia. I've been to Thailand a few times. I've been to Vietnam. I've been to Cambodia. been a hitchhike through the Middle East. Been to Turkey, obviously. I've been to Egypt. Been to Ireland, Northern Ireland, through America, Japan, all those countries I've been to. So I'm a digital nomad, but I just don't have the in me to start scamming people to keep paying for my income. So I'm going to keep going through the internet here, and I'm looking for your phone number, and I found your website, mate. Oh, that might help. Wonder if there's any contact details in there. Anyway, in a few minutes, oh, there's a contact us and a whole roaming free website. This is great. Well, let's see if we can contact you. I'll carry on playing the video, and I'll see if I can give you a phone call in a few minutes, mate, and see if we can give you a right reply on how you think you should be promoting this opportunity of a lifetime. Let's go back to the presentation. Oh, I love it when things get exciting. Things could get real. Let's carry on, Michael.
They've created the TGPs to be a tradable token. So there's a limited number of TGPs available. It has a base value, which would be to the gold, but will increase in value as demand goes up as it's used more. And it can be used like any currency. And that's why instead of having now buying like 5 grams of gold and hodling that, or holding that as a security, you're buying those coins because it's creating more transactions and more holding of that coin, meaning when they look at it on the exchange, you can see how valuable that's coming, and people will be jumping on that follow those patterns there. The big money, though, as I said, is in the fees. Now, Australia alone, hang on, I better go back and tap on my share screen with you again, so I'm not missing out. Bit of a one-man show here at the moment, as my lovely wife is keeping the kids quiet for me in the bedroom watching a movie. So Australians paid $4 billion a year in tap-and-go fees. Australia is a tiny, tiny country as far as population and transactions go, when we've got this in 170 countries. 4 billion is charged to the merchants and is purely on tap and go. That's not including buying online, swiping your card, inserting your card. That is just on tap and go fees. This is why the banks make as much money as they do. This is why MasterCard and Visa make as much money as they do. This is based around this card. If this card is used for all these transactions, they're going to encourage you to use it for your transactions. You can imagine where they're making their money in fees. And as I said, 4 billion is just Australia a year. Just one small country of, 27 or 28 million people, whatever we're at the moment. What was this one here? I know I've already shown you that. Oh, that's pretty good. I've gone through most of my screen slides that I wanted to share with you. But what that means I can do, hang on. I better just take it off to get you in the right spot. Back to me. Hello, guys. All right. So as you can see there, we're talking fees, we're talking the exchanges of the tokens or the TGPs. If you need more information about that, feel free to jump in the questions. I'm just reading here as I keep going on. So as we know, the Australian dollar, world currencies are depreciating in value. Money is printed at record rates and inflation is higher than the interest in banks. So we are going backwards holding our money in banks. I'm not here to tell you how to suck eggs. It's very, very obvious to see, and you can do your own research there on that. Gold is a safe and tested currency that is outdone fiat continuously and will, as the amount of gold is also limited. Many expect that the current gold rates will be mined completely within 12 to 15 years. Now, I'm no expert in that. That's purely what I'm reading. So, again, I can't vouch on that, but it makes sense. It is a physical product, and it is being mined very heavily. With AURATUS, you've got the ability to effectively purchase and sell gold around 20% cheaper than through a bullion dealer when it comes to the holding, storing, fees, the purchase price, selling price, things like that. You're looking at much cheaper rate, even if you wanted to just simply buy gold and hold it and not be part of that TAS card program. I've already covered you by minimal amounts, available sell 24/7. I've covered that. It's decentralized, a rewards program that sees your wealth grow without having to do anything. You can get in,
These
put your
guys
gold in there,
are
set up, have a card,
desperately
spend on your
trying to make
card,
money.
and you are
I'm finding lots of
growing
shit out about them.
your wealth there in TGPs and gold, whilst you are not marketing this, selling, lifting a finger, anything like that. The reward program sees you
A bit crackly because I'm looking up who owns
the
the domain
commission
name.
plan rewards those that market it mid-month direct sales. Indirect sales get paid out mid-month.
Can't wait to hear the questions at the end, though.
We will be headed in just a few weeks. We're headed to the head office in Dubai.
Are you really?
Team. Again, as mentioned, we have 1,000% faith in this company. We're more than happy to put our names behind it, to show people who we are. We're not hiding behind anonymous sources. We're not corporate team. We don't own the company. We simply have got money and gold invested in it. And, you know, we started in a different online business. We got involved in this and had to tell everyone we could. Getting in this community is incredible. The most like-minded, fantastic people you'll meet. And it's really cool being surrounded by people that constantly inspire each other. We understand that people are very cautious, and with any opportunity, we'll tell people to only put in what you won't lose sleep over. You can sell your gold at any point. You can even sell your TGPs. However, if you do remove those TGPs from the HODL, you will be, from that hold on the card, you will be fined, depending on, or not fined, you will only receive a percentage of them back if it's within the 30 months.
Okay, so we have actually found this guy's company, and it's called the Roamin Popes, is the name of the company. And I'm now looking up him in the Australian ASBN record, looking him up. So we'll keep you tuned, see what we can find.
Now, it depends on how many months into it, on how much you get back. I can go into that further later if you wish. You can sell that gold, as I said, at any stage, but if you take it from those storage containers that are generating you those loyalty points, then clearly it's going to stop generating you those loyalty points there with the TGPs. So I'm going to show you some examples here. As I said, these examples, though, I can't reiterate enough, guys. This is to be used as a guide only, because the reason for that, the price of gold, I actually did these prices last night. I don't even know if they've changed today, but the price of gold fluctuates. The exchange rate of AUD to Euro changes. We've got many different factors here as well that we have to take into account on what happens there. The TGPs, they might have a promotion period on or reduce them. Like if you buy a TAS card now with the set TGPs, that's what you've got for the life of the card. If you buy a storage box with these TGPs, that's what you got life for the what you've got for the life of that box. They can, though, obviously, as they bring in more products, change those TGPs. They always honor what they've sold, but new products going forward. So all I'm getting at is if you were to watch this video 2 months down the track and the TAS card has a different TGP, if you were to buy it then, that would be relevant to you then. This is what's relevant to anyone that was to buy a TAS card now, even if they took 6 months to load it. Oh, geez, I waffle on, don't I? Alrighty, let's share this and we're going to try to wrap this up pretty soon. So again, I've still got a lot of you guys are still on this call, which I love seeing. Again, I really do appreciate your time on a Sunday evening. And let's get into
Right, we found your ASB number.
one here. All right, cool. So the cheapest option, everyone asks, what's the cheapest option? Well, not everyone, some people ask. The 5 gram TAS card is €423 to buy 5 grams of gold. 5 gram basically means it costs you 5 gram of gold to buy it. That's equivalent of, give or take a couple of dollars, $700. You need to buy 500 TGPs, €410, $677 to have that. Now, effectively, you've paid $700 for a card that is going to last you 2.5 years and be able to use it in a decentralized space and be able to use your gold and crypto to spend it on. That $677 is basically a security. You're going to get 500 TGPs back, which I'm myself extraordinarily confident is going to be worth far greater than that at the end of that term. Remember, this is a virtual card only on the 5 grand option. You have to connect it to Apple Pay. Now your TAS card is active and usable. At the end of the 30-month term, you get those TGPs back. If you take out those TGPs before the end of the term, you're penalized. I think I just covered that before, and will lose a percentage of them depending on how long they were in for. You'd be pretty silly to take those out during that time unless you were absolutely desperate, didn't want to use your card anymore, and were prepared to lose some of it there. I would highly recommend not doing that, but everyone's in a different position in life. So to benefit from the rewards, you then need to fill the storage containers. It would cost you $700 Australian to fill each container because it's 5 grams of gold each. You can fill 1, you can fill 2, or you can fill all 3. The rewards are distributed in TGPs every 4 months on smaller cards and every 2 months on the larger cards.
You can't read
So
that
even
very
though,
well.
let's say you've got a set, let's call it 2,000 TGPs on the smaller card, that will be sent out, divided it, every 4 months you'll get that. You won't get 2,000, you'll get, my brain's fried, so I can't even do the maths right now. You just get paid more often on the larger cards from like 100 grams up.
Okay.
Now, this is a TAS card example of the mid-rate card, which is a 100-gram card. And actually, I don't have it before. I might see if I can, hopefully you can see. So this is the card I've got in one of our accounts. It's nice and clear here. This is a 100-gram card. That's the number of the card. However, this is not loaded. So I have not loaded this one at all here. As you can see here, this is what it will look like when loaded. What I want to show you is this part here. As you can see it, storage 1 will issue you 13,500 over 12 months, released every 2 months. Storage 2, again, same thing over every 2 months for the next 12 months, and then 11,500 at the end of 30 months, so 6 months later. Let's go back to what it means in Aussie dollars.
Interesting. Actually, I'm looking up his company at the moment.
69,500 Australian dollars. If you were to put this in a term deposit, earning, I think 5% is pretty good at the moment in Australia.
Yeah, but you won't lose your principal, Noddy.
In 30 months, that'll turn to $76,000. So now I'm comparing it to what you put in a bank. So if you go in a bank earning 5% a year, there's $7,500
Oh, they're idiots, aren't
30
they?
months, and you're going to be taxed capital gains tax on that. So depending on your income,
are you providing financial advice here, my friend?
Let's call it, again, for argument's sake, I'm not here to split hairs, $5,000 profit in 2.5 years in a high interest term deposit. And many of them you need to keep it fixed in there. You can't take it out for a period of time. So again, some are going to be better than that, some are going to be worse than that. This is purely just as an example. If you were to buy a 100-gram TAS card during a non-promotional period, so meaning as is, well, right now is a promotional period until tomorrow, but we're going to use worst case scenario at the moment. That 100-gram TAS card will cost you €8,472. You need 10,000 TGPs to activate that card. That's going to cost you another €8,200. The card is now active and you can use it, but you want to maximize this and fill it full of gold to get the best benefits possible. Your total spend, and you put 300 grams of gold on it, 100 grams in each container. Your total spend is now $42,088. Believe it or not, that's $69,500. So what's it going to do compared to this? For the first 12 months, you'll get your 13,500. Next 12 months, that we've already gone through that. If you didn't spend these TGPs, remember, you can spend them as you go because you're getting them paid every 2 months.
Hope you can see that all right.
But if you didn't spend them on your card,
I'm busy looking for his phone number. I want to give him a ring.
At 30 months, you will get.
I've already sent him an email via his website, which I'll show you in a few seconds.
Which was the 10,000 TGPs, which was at the time was worth €8,200. We're sure it's going to be worth a lot more. You will get that back, and you will have 48,500 TGPs if you haven't spent it as well as that 300 grams of gold that you put in those storage containers. If the TGPs remain the exact same value, so let's say gold doesn't increase in value at all, and again, if you simply look at this chart and tell me that you don't think that the, in 2.5 years, this has gone up 60, may not go up another 60%, but have a look at this graph, what it's done all the way back, as we go here, just continuously increasing in price. So I'm doing these numbers here firstly based on it doing nothing. Your gold value at 2.5 years will be worth after 30 months will be worth $109,896, €66,000, €66,500. So your 69,000 is gone to 69,000 has gone to 109,896 if gold stops increasing in value. We know, can't say we know, we're very confident that's not going to be the case. Confident.
But I've already said
gold does exactly,
he's leading the winners.
Exactly what it's done over the last 2.5 years, that gold would be worth $175,835. Now remember, not only is that
this
great,
virtual gold or real gold,
in
Michael?
a decentralized space, because what do you do with those profits there? You could put it on a decentralized credit card and go and spend it on things that you wanted to purchase. Now, I'm not here to tell you, again,
where you
I
get
can't
your
give you any
principal
tax advice or recommendations or anything
just
like that
have.
because I'm not licensed to do it.
I'm not a surgeon, but I'm going to cut you open.
On what you can do there. That profit can be sold and put back into a regulated exchange where you pay your tax, or you can spend it on a decentralized card. And obviously, you got to make sure that it's your responsibility to alert the ATO and things like that of all income. So be aware of that. Watch a 5-minute YouTube video on decentralized versus decentralized to understand the power of this.
Okay. Remember that, guys.
Just got to kind of read between the lines here. Now, let's talk about the storage box example. So that's one example. Again, I can't do an example for
tax
every
evasion. Is that what you're trying to say to people?
night, and I do appreciate your time and mine as well. And I do, if you do have a set amount in mind, speak to the person that introduced you there. And if they need help, I can help them work through it as well with you there.
Right, so
You need to have a TAS card. You need to have an active TAS card to buy a storage box.
okay.
So you need to have a TAS card that's got the TGPs as a security that's active. You can't just buy a storage box without a TAS card. You need to have that TAS card. But you can have any size storage box with any size TAS card. So here, even if you've got a 5 gram TAS card, you can go and don't have any of the containers loaded. You can still buy a storage box.
Well, that's relief,
The
isn't it?
example is a 75 gram storage box that can be stored 150 grams over a 24-month period. So remember, instead of 30 months, we're back to 24 on storage boxes. And I'm using this because it's another mid-rate amount there that's bang in the middle. So a 75 gram box here, as you can read here, again, €6,354. You get these TGPs at the end. You load it with 2 lots of 75 grams of gold. Your total spend, €19,062 or $31,625 Australian. You will receive 15,000 TGPs over 24 months. You will get your initial 7,500 TGPs back.
Right.
Up to 24 months, you have 150 grams of gold plus 22,500 TGPs, which is the equivalent, again, of approximately, because things will vary, €31,770 or 52,709 Australian dollars. So you've 31,600 into 52,700 if gold does nothing and doesn't grow in value. If it does exactly what it's done in the last 2 years, your $31,600 is now $84,344 in a 2-year period, which is absolutely
amazing.
Nuts, but that's obviously based on the cost of gold.
Nothing
here can be guaranteed because we can't guarantee what the price of gold's going to do. We can't guarantee what the price of that token will do, but it is got a base of the price of gold. Again, 100 TGPs equals 1 gram of gold. Or again, it's 106, but just to make life easier.
That's great.
If you go on the current Halloween promo, you get an additional 7,500 TGPs, which is around $10,500.
Where's the money come from?
Worth of today's value. If that went up into, so if you were to get on that right now, let's say you had an account already and you put money in or got crypto over very quick before 10 a.m. tomorrow,
crypto
for a small amount, you can
Why can't
see
you
that
transfer the money from your bank?
Advantageous, but the promo lasted for like 3 days, and straight as soon as they kind of, changed everything there. So not many people had time to act there. So what I'm going to do there, I'm going to, they have these gift cards as well at the moment that you can see on the dash.
Better and better.
The gift card is not buying gold. It's effectively just buying TGPs and storing those TGPs for 2 years. You don't get paid any of the loyalty points for that 2-year period. If that's of interest, take a quick photo there that you can take a photograph and read that. You're not buying gold. You're buying the TGP token. You're putting the security of the TGP token, and you can get a rough idea of what that's going to go for. I am not 100% sure. I haven't heard feedback if this is purely part of the Halloween promotion or if this is here long term. I don't know. So as I said, I'm not sure it's a long-term product yet. Effectively, what it does, it doubles your money over 2 years if the TGPs, without the TGP or gold increasing in price. Obviously, it will be more than that if gold increases. But take a quick photo of that if you want to get an idea.
Do we get questions, Michael?
Gift cards.
Do we get a chance to answer some questions?
Product, and I'm pretty sure you need to have a TAS card in order to do it. But again, if that's of interest, hit up the person who sent it to you, and I'll confirm that because it's a very new product, and I don't know if it's here long term, so I don't want to give you any false information there.
Well, you just have.
Cool. All right, guys. What I'm going to do
Questions.
let's do a Q&A. I'm going to keep recording it because you might have something that's going to be of value for anyone who's watching this.
Oh, I like the question and answer parts.
No one will be able to see your name in your questions, only
me. You're going to make them up?
Again, if you are an existing member and have a question about your existing gold or whatever it might be, I'm not going to answer them because they're to be done in either just message me directly if you're in our team, or message.
And what do you need a team?
Leader or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what you call them.
Scammers?
But this is purely for new leads here. So, all right. So I've got, what if you can't fill your card within the 6-month time frame? I wouldn't be buying a card if you can't fill it within that 6-month time frame because you'll void your card. You're effectively going to just to waste your money. So you've got 6 months to fill it there to make it active. Otherwise, you're going to waste your money. So the only time you would buy it if you weren't ready to go and load it, let's say there was some kind of promotion on or you wanted to get into it I mean, if you've got, let's say you've got a TAS card and you put the security there, and then your card's active and you're using it as a card, but then you didn't load those storage containers, then you would then have to buy a storage box and load that to store your gold to get your points from there. There's a question about what company to use if you want to use self-managed super funds. Just contact whoever sent you this, and we can put you in direct communication with them. We also use them to move Australian currency over, directly into AURATUS as well. Decentralized spending. Is using your TAS card to buy groceries considered decentralized spending? Decentralized spending. Okay. Well, your card is an international card. Now, there are obviously different levels of regulations. If you were to buy on like an Apple Pay on your phone, tap it, I personally wouldn't consider that decentralized because you've got to connect your account to that Apple Pay. But by doing a card, then yes, it is, because you have got certain layers of KYC and regulation where it is decentralized in that space.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to dive into in a very kind of quick Q&A there, but effectively, yes, it's decentralized, but I wouldn't consider that. I don't know how that works. Again, I wouldn't be connecting it to an Apple Pay myself, but each their own. I'd have to look more into that side of things as well with the Apple Pay and what that would be. Have you done an example exercise to determine the best strategy, e.g. low card value, fill storage, add in high storage box value? So we haven't worked, well, we have yes and no. Now, at the moment, it's best to basically work out the amount that you've got and that you want to put into it and try to fill your TAS card there and the storage containers there. The loyalty points are pretty similar on those cards to the boxes, but instead of having to then buy a card and then an additional storage box, you're just buying that TAS card there. So if it was me personally coming in brand new to this, I would buy the biggest TAS card I could afford
is
to
that right,
fill it
mate?
up completely. And then
Of course you would.
if down the track I wanted to put more into it, like with what I've got back, I would then go from the storage boxes there. The bigger the TAS card, like the storage box, the higher percentage of TGPs you're going to get from that as well. So in short, you're better, instead of then spending a lot of money on a high storage box, for me, I'd put that into a TAS card and buy that to my budget there. Excuse me, just falling a little bit up, sliding off this couch here. I've got a couple more questions. You can only have one TAS card. You can have lots of, sorry, forget you guys can't read this. You can have only one TAS card and one storage box on that account over the term of the TAS card or storage box. So no, you can only have one TAS card because the TAS card is in your name. It has an IBAN. You can have multiple storage boxes. They're not going to stop you saying, sorry, you can't buy any more gold because you've run out of storage boxes.
Of course they're not going to say
you
that.
can always buy more storage boxes and load them with more gold. After the 30 months, when that TAS card expires, you can obviously then go and get another TAS card. Can you purchase small amounts to fill your storage box on a regular time frame? So kind of like dollar cost average, I assume here. I believe you can, but it's not going to become, you're not going to get those TGPs. Again, as long as it's within that 6 months, you're not going to get those TGPs, so those loyalty points, until that storage container or storage box is full to 100%. So hopefully that makes sense there. So yes, you can, but as long as it's full to 100% before that 6 months. You don't want to get to 95% and then I assume it would be voided there. I'd have to get more clarification if they would. Actually, I reckon they would. Yeah, they would. So you'd want to make sure, again, that you've got the ability to fully load that box within 6 months time of purchase. Have you got more info on the blockchain that is using so we can have a look at it? Yes, I would. If you're more interested in the blockchain itself, there was just a change, I think, of blockchains.
A change of blockchain.
Reach out to the person who sent you this, and we can get you some information there.
Yeah.
I won't put it on here on the recording.
All right.
I think that was. Oh no. Well, cool. Thanks. I think that basically answers everything, guys. We've had you for an hour and 10 minutes. Hopefully, you got something out of it.
No. Yeah, I did. I got
like
heaps. Thanks to the person that sent me this.
I'm a bit of a straight shooter. I hate the bullshit. I hate the
bullshit
bullshit in the online space.
That's why we're trying to stop you.
That's around there. I've been very, very fortunate enough to meet these people who who are the corporate for this company. I'm very
Market.
proud to market it. And we have an
Fucking hell.
incredible community. I would always encourage people as well, if you ever get a chance to go to an event. I've managed to travel many countries around the world just meeting the corporate team, and it just fills you with even more confidence in it there. As I said, I'll be over there in a few weeks. If you have any other questions that I haven't covered, please contact whoever sent you this video. I hope you got something out of it. Big, big thank you for your time on a Sunday evening. If you're having a long weekend, enjoy it. Otherwise, hopefully it's back. If it's back to work tomorrow, it's not too bad for you. Take care, guys. Oh, hang on. Have I got another question? No, just a thanks. Cool. Oh, yeah. And if it is the next step for you, again, reach out to whoever sent you this video. This is purely an information video. Reach out to them and see what they can do to help you get started in this very, very exciting space. Cheers, guys. Really appreciate your time. Thanks.
Alrighty. Well, that's him gone. So what I've been doing busy in the background is I've been researching him, and I think he's incredibly. So I'm just going to flip back to the browser and we'll do a bit of a summary of what just happened there. So we've got Michael Pope from Roamin Free. His wife is hold on, I'll just click on the right button, make sure I do the right one. Yes, there it is. So that's Michael Hope. There he is dressed up as a fireman, and there he is claiming to be a policeman, which is kind of ironic in a way, isn't it? And I've just searched here trying to find his phone number. Now, there was a couple of messages there, which I'm no good at reading, so I'm going to get the computer to read. And thank you so much to the people that have been commenting as we've been watching this. And I know it's more about documenting him promoting than anything. So we've got Short Ticks has said,
I think he is indirectly trying to say that the token is backed by their gold assets.
the token is indirected by the gold assets. Yep. And that would mean if something is gold backed, because I had a poller who tried to take me to the New Zealand High Court for a $3.8 million lawsuit and lost. He was claiming that his projects were gold backed. To have something gold backed means that you have enough money in the reserve for the complete project if it fails to pay out everyone that loses. So that's what gold back was. Morning again, it was on earlier. Can't believe this guy. And he's an Australian guy. So here we are. This is the Australian hero. And I've searched for his phone number. So this is his story. And he claims that he used to be a policeman. So this is quite funny. He looks like he was 10 years old when he's doing that. So let's get a couple of these photos of this hero, this man who's just absolutely amazing. And what we normally have is screenshots. So we're just going to put a couple of photos of the hero in his portfolio. This portfolio that we've got on you, Michael, is actually seen by the ATO ASIC. We provide information to these companies about Australians. So if I was to go to persons of interest and you're looking at my database, you'll see that I've gathered information on a lot of people, such as yourself. Now, down here, we've got Michael and his wife, Hope. And I think the best photo would probably be that one there, actually. Hold it. I've actually got. So I'm just going to put a wee thumbnail on you and change that image. So there you are. That will jog my memory to who you are. And now I'm going to drag you over to Australians. Now, this is where we put all the Australians that are naughty. And all these people we currently have active investigations on. So you might know some of these people, like Ron and Avriel Delito. I can't even say their name. But these are all people that I've seen promoting Ponzi schemes and scams. Do you know Steve Kondos? Well, I've got a pretty file on him. Carl Miller, who's currently on the dole, gets $738.60 a fortnight. We know where he lives. So now what we are actually actively looking for the phone number of Brooke and Michael Pope. So if you guys are watching this and you know these guys and you've been scammed by these guys, or you've invested in something that they recommended and it's gone pear-shaped, I would love to hear from you. We found their website, roaminfree.com.au. From that, we found their ASBN number. From that, I found his home address. Not home address, sorry, his ASBN and his company number. In here, we see him selling Kangen water. Now, I have had some experience with this because a lady that used to flat with a friend of mine was always trying to push these stupid machines to get fresh water out of the tap down the throat. Nothing against Kangen water. It's not a scam as far as I'm aware. But the fact that these guys have set up a website, not only that, you come along to their products, and this guy is a wannabe rich guy, and he's thrown his children and his beautiful wife under the bus here by, promoting the idea that you can get a passive income. So here's his caravan, and he's just one of those guys that have got to that stage in life where they can basically claim to be digital nomads, but they're in the background. Here he is promoting a Ponzi scheme and scam that's got more red flags than you can shake a stick at. And he's tried everything in his power to find as many things that he can to sell you. And I'm desperately trying to find his phone number, because while I'm doing this live, I would like to talk to him. Now, what I have done is, thanks, Dan, for spending this. I'm not familiar with Michael Pope, but I will have a look in our system and see what comes up. I will also flag him in our intelligent database. Now, that's a message that I just received from Ken Gamble. If you don't know who Ken Gamble is, I don't know where you've been, but you'll probably find out. FW. So Ken Gamble is this guy. Ken Gamble is our Australian financial crime intelligent investigations and assets recovery company. He was the guy that invited me over. Now, his job is probably something that you would be. Now, this is Ken Gamble, right? Now, this is a crime seminar, the Global Financial Crime Summit 2024. These people in the center of the screen at the moment are people who are amazing. These are the chief of polices. This is head of fraud guys, special forces, secret agents, judges, university lecturers, the whole nine. They are the speakers. And this, if you look at this photo here, am I in there? Yep, there I am. I'm center of the stage there. You can see me. And there's Kathy, who's watching right now. So we went to this global. So this guy here is going to put you in his intelligence database. He actually goes in and raids the call centers and the people that are scamming, goes in there, obviously, with local law enforcement and raids these centers. He has been on numerous TV shows, and we got together with 150 different delegates from around the world to go after people like you, Michael. So what have I done with Michael's information? Well, first of all, I've put it on Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. Now, Michael, if you buy me a cup of coffee, I'll remove this video. Is that what you want me to say? Is that what you claim that behind MLM says? Well, the last guy that tried to remove any content of mine was going to sue me in the New Zealand High Court for $3.8 million. It cost me $36,600 to defend myself. An hour and a half before a High Court judge actually opened the file, he chickened out and filed a discontinuance because I had overwhelming evidence that this guy was a scammer. Now, you can do the same if you like. 2 months later, I got awarded all my costs, well, nearly all my costs, and he was ordered to pay for wasting the court's time, and he got a scolding from the judge. They're called SLAP laws, and they're quite easy to do in New Zealand if you're a wealthy scammer. So why don't you try and do something like that to me? Because I would relish it. And not only that, I've got a legal team behind me that is world class. Literally the best defamation lawyers in New Zealand are actually backing what I'm doing, because they are sick to death with people like you who think you can get in front of a Zoom meeting and push a Ponzi scheme that's been flagged by every government agent that means anything, and you're just ignoring it, and you're alleging that you are not a scammer. Well, this is you, and this is your beautiful wife and your children, who will probably, your next trip, because I've done a poll, and I asked, do you believe Michael will spend his next holiday? And the votes are in. The 75% of people said in court, and one person said Mars, but no one said jail. You're probably going to get away with it. But hey, look, I'm not here to lock you up. I'm here to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. Now, at the start of this video, which is now getting on to quite a bit of time, we went through and we found a little bit about you. Since we've been listening to your video, I've gone and found your ABN number, so we can see that where your company is registered. We also have brought up your wife's Facebook account. We see your children are there. I'm not going after your children. We went through the opportunity that you were promoting and we basically showed all the red flags available. Now, that's been posted on my Buy Me a Cup of Coffee link. We've also published it on my LinkedIn profile, which is, I've got 7,500 followers who follow me, and they can read your article. And we want to stop you, or you can help us fight the crimes. You can turn your ways around. Here's the history of your company from ChatGPT, actually. Your company, how it's changed. And who is this? This
Beautiflies.
Beautiflies. So you renamed yourself from Beautiflies to Roamin something. But anyway, we've looked up all that stuff and we've documented it all and we've put it into a file. It was also on my website. We've notified people who are very closely knit to law enforcement, especially since you claim that you used to be a police officer. We actually have photos of you being a police officer, and we also have photos of you being a fireman. So we don't deny that you've done those wonderful things. It's a shame you're not really a hero anymore. We also will be contacting the UK Mirror and say, would you like an update on this wonderful family that travel around the world as digital nomads and live this wonderful life with their kids? What a joke. What an individual you've turned out to be. You're just a real tool. So I've got a file on you, and I will do my best to name and shame you, and I will show anybody who wants to have access to this information to contact me, and they can find out more information about you. I would have, in an ideal world, I would have loved to have found your phone number and given you a phone call. And I have emailed you twice since I have been doing this, and I'm looking at your website that you've got. You've also got an opportunities tab in here. And ironically, you don't seem to be promoting the scheme that you are currently talking about on your unlisted video that I got given to me by one of your people that don't like you, obviously. I don't even know what this 8-point system is, but basically you can go to romanfree.com.au and you can get his website. This is his ASBN number, and this is the company that he trades under. I'm sick to death with these guys. We have now found this company here, which is called
AURATUS Gold.
AURATUS Gold, was owned by the same guy that's connected to GS Partners. The marketers are Brooke and obviously Michael Hope. And you can see I've been trying to find his phone number, and boy, would I love to get your phone number. So there will be a slip up somewhere here where we can actually get your phone number. Lots of Instagram happy joy photos, which we'll see in a second. We've showed you website. In here somewhere, I think you will mention your phone number, because I actually searched for phone, and I'm sure I'll find it here in a minute. Oh, you've got a dog. That's nice. I don't know who that is. So where's the phone number? Fitted. Somebody got attacked. That does not look good at all. But yeah, in here, we've actually been trying to find his phone number. If you ever want a tip when you're trying to research one and you don't have all the contacts that you need to find people's phone numbers, you can literally type in the word phone and put it in a search engine. And if they've ever mentioned the word phone and put their phone number, it's usually a good way of finding them. So I'm literally going through here now trying to find the phone number via the search results of searching for phone. If that makes sense. There's your photo that was on in the paper. But yeah, it's actually amazing. But iMessage is where I thought you would have slipped up, my friend. But we'll find you. I don't think we need to find you. We've notified people who are in law enforcement, and they can do the dirty work. This was your LinkedIn profile, and we can see you've actually had a great time as a digital nomad. The photo that you'll see on the thumbnail that you're looking at right now here's Michael doing his thing. And as you can see, there's lots of amazing photos of someone who was living the life as a digital nomad, which looks like he'd had a bit of a windfall. He's probably made his money from Hyperverse or something like that. Well, all that money can be clawed back when people come after you and request that they have been defrauded by you. So this is a cry for help. We need your help to fight these bottom feeders of the world. As I said, we've gone through everything we can, right through to photos of him. But we're not here for shits and giggles, guys. We're here to actually ask people to give us a hand. This is my website. And in the website, you can see that I was part of the global financial Crime Summit 2024. You can see that I've got a name and shame list here blog. I've got how to report cybercrime and cryptocurrency, a global guide, and there you can find how to report to any countries. The very video I'm recording now has already got a blog on my website. Other videos that we have done other name and shames on, and there's lots of ways in here that you can actually report these criminals. Go to the Contact Us page, click on the bookmarks. You'll find useful links. These are actually my bookmarks where you can supply us Zoom meetings. So, for example, someone provided that webinar link to me via email. In here, you can provide Zoom links, names, IDs, and passwords. In here, you can go through here and see my bookmarks, some interesting bookmarks. Like we literally have, we have got crypto addresses that have been bookmarked, which show us where money goes. We follow money on the blockchain. We know where the money is going. We are watching people transfer money on the blockchain, and we've also given you the links where you can follow what we do. There's also tons of Zoom meeting links in there, and it just goes on and on. But most importantly, if you go to my Contact Us page and you have been scammed by one of these bottom feeders of the world, you can give us your name, your email address, your username, your phone numbers, the country where you live. You can tell us the name of the scam. You can tell us how much money you invested. You can give us the date and also the wallet addresses you may have sent the money to. You can keep it 100% anonymous if you like. Please do so. The other one that we need to follow up on, which I haven't done yesterday, is where did my crypto go? It's a form on our website where you can complete it, and we will research and let you know where your crypto actually went when you put it into these platforms. What we have found from our research is we have seen dormant crypto wallets that have been dormant for 700 days had money from one entity given to a new entity that has rebranded itself. Now, remember at the start of this video, I talked about Hypertech Group. Then we had Hypercapital, Hyperfund, Hyperverse, Hypernation, Hypercosmos, Hyperplanet, and then Diversal, and then it turned into now we've got this stupid thing called Mars 3 thing. And these are all rebrands, rinse and repeats. We have seen money go from Hyperverse into We Are All Satoshi, which allege they are not connected. I know from my experience that I have seen people who are developing these scams operating out of a building in Dubai. We've also know that the people from WeWe Global, the blockchain era, or X-Pro, have also been operating out of the same building. We've had people that have been working in those buildings for 5 months. Currently, one of them is on his way out of here, and he has become a valuable informant. He was working with these people to get himself out of Dubai. He has raised $750. He needs $1,000 to get himself home. And Garrett will be home sweet home, as he said. And you can read about his story. He will also become a vital informant. He was deemed the person that owned VidiLook. VidiLook claimed they had Garrett go in there and steal all the money. Sam Lee had control of the super wallet address for VidiLook, which brought in about $14 million. When Garrett he was working for the company, but not owning the company as he was alleged, but he had a transaction given to him for $55,000, $40,000 worth of due commissions, and $15,000 for 3 months worth of back pay for his $5,000 a month he was receiving from Sam Lee. Sam Lee was in control of that company. He showed us on the blockchain the transaction and the text messages from Sam to prove that a company that had gone bankrupt, that all the money had been stolen out of, he received payment for his dues from the same super wallet address. So no doubt Sam got pissed off about that, and he put a lawsuit against Garrett to keep him in Dubai. As of a few weeks ago, Sam had been detained, and he's now in Dubai. I'm trying to change screens here. I think I've done my dash of talking today. So Sam is now in Dubai and been detained. Garrett has had his travel bans lifted and he's free to go. So all these scams are associated together. Look, I don't really want to go after Michael Hope or Brooke, his wife. I would rather they decided that they've got to put their hands up in the air and say, look, we've had enough. And maybe that's you. Maybe you have been promoting these Ponzi schemes and scams in the past, and you've had enough, and you want to help the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger and his team of Avengers fight these guys. You want to help us storm into Zoom meetings and cause disruption. I want to have the ability to go into a Zoom meeting, put the link in my live, and then have everyone go into that live and close it down. Zoom Even though Section 8 of their terms and conditions state that you're not allowed to use Zoom to promote multi-level marketing, they turned a blind eye to it. We used to close down these meetings every couple of days after reporting and giving screenshots and showing that, fraudulent people are running these meetings, and they used to close them down. We closed down about 100 meetings, and now they ignore us. In fact, because I showed the payslip of Kyle Miller, who earned $338.60 a fortnight, they said I broke their privacy terms. So now Zoom has banned me from using Zoom. So I use it via a web browser, different story. My point is that Zoom have also been fined, in some cases, up to $87 million for breaking people's privacy. Hence, when I started getting correspondence going with the top guys at Zoom, they decided it was just easier to kick Danny, the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, off the platform and let the scammers continue. But that doesn't mean that we can't access those Zoom meetings, and it doesn't mean that we can't cause major disruptions to these players. The money that they are collecting often goes off to criminal cartel networks. We learnt that at the summit. The money that these cartel are making often go off to help building these human trafficking compounds. The world is a sad place. Do not think by dabbling in a little investment opportunity from a company that has a history that as long as my arm of dubious business practices that you're doing a clever business investment. You're not. You're supporting the criminal cartels of the world. And I think I've said enough, but if you do know Michael or Mike Hope, or as Brooke Hope, as I said, and you do know their phone numbers and contact details, home addresses, or any information, please go to dehek.com and reach out to me. And let's stop these bastards from promoting what they feel they have a right to promote. Time for a change. 2025 is going to be amazing changes in the world. There's newspapers that have told me they now have a Ponzi scheme crime division set up to report and name and shame these people like this guy. Michael, get off the internet. Go get your job back as a fireman and stop being an idiot on the internet. That's Danny de Hek, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, here to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or scam. I'll see you in my next live.